Hey everybody, welcome to the Paddling Pool 382. I am Pat here with Slat, ready to watch all the Splatoon action that we can have. We're gonna go straight in upper bracket semis. It's going to be WoW versus Goob.
Wow! Hey, well, if I wasn't awake yet, I'm awake now. What up? How you doing, Pat?
I am doing great, Slat, and I'm still enjoying playing Raiders and still playing some strategy on the side as well. And there's always so much stuff happening in competitive. And yeah, I haven't casted Paddling Pool in a while, but it feels good to be back home, you know?
Well, welcome back. We certainly missed you, and what a wonderful semis to hop on, where looks like we only had 12 teams sign up. However, that means we're going to see some, I think, tight gameplay today. I'm excited. We're going immediately into Clamblitz on Museum di Alfonsino. Let's see what weapons we got here.
Yeah, well, on the side of WoW, who is our number one seed team, we have kind of a common things, but on the side of Goob, a few curveballs, and by that I mean a few curve bubbles, as well as a Clash Blaster.
Blob Lubber and Clash Blaster is a crazy pick. I'm excited to see what they do with it. We see, I don't know, is that Phoenix with the blaster immediately pushing forward, trying to just, you know, guarding this ledge, hiding under it, getting the picks that they can. Honestly, they're doing a great job at keeping them out of mid, but not taking mid.
Yeah, I mean, Goob's strategy with these two unusual weapons is going to be to hold the space that they have, be as annoying as they can once they have some control, but for that they need to hold the positions that they take. If WoW can manage to push forward and really take space like they just did right there, that's a wipeout. It's going to be very, very rough for Goob to push them away. They will rely on all of their specials, on everything they have to really push their way back into mid. For now, all the momentum is in the hands of WoW.
Yeah, and I would like to say that was a that was a wow moment. They were able to get 2 balls in, but Goob immediately with the counter wipe, which is going to give them an opportunity to not only take mid, but get a chance to hopefully build up clams to where, I mean, they only got 2 balls in, Pat. There's only a minute 20 in. There's plenty of time for this game to keep going. We see the rain come out from Tubba Wubba here. Let's see if they're able to make up the push with the ball here.
Yeah, Tubba Wubba, beautiful opening with a crab tank behind to really give the support, solidify everything, and it looks like Goob are able to really set themselves under. They're keeping that basket open, and the lead is now one single clam. Here comes the super jump, but the super clam cannot go in the basket. That's still a lead for Goob, but that's probably not the lead they were hoping to get, Slat.
Hey, right now a lead's a lead, but if I could say, it might have been better for them to, like, as soon as they got the lead, back up so they didn't get wiped, because it's now giving WoW an opportunity to immediately push back in and take mid. Like, you know, the roles are reversed. Goob just took mid. Now it's WoW's turn. We see it doesn't matter. WoW goes 3 down, even with the vac at the ready, and we see that ball about to break. They don't really, their push was actually shut down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's the deal. When you're facing a comp with a blob and a Clash Blaster, you can't attack too fast. You have to be patient, because if you go in too fast, you will get punished. And wow, they're probably not used to playing against these weapons. They have to adapt. Right now, they have a super clam ready. They have a lot of control over mid. They need to push onto the enemy's basket, but again, they can't do that too hastily. They need to be solid. And Phoenix is under the basket right now, pressing this way, waiting for the jumps, and with the splashdown to secure that position. The basket will reopen, but is there enough clams to get the lead right now? Well,
I don't think so.
Okay.
There we go. I was gonna say I couldn't tell, but then we had a couple jump up on block, which was able to not only get it past the lead, but down by another almost 30 points, which is giving WoW a good lead with about a minute and 36 left. We see the cooler come out, so they're just gonna be able to hop right back in, where they're cornering members of Goob and just not letting them push, and we get a solid lead from WoW. They didn't really do a good job earlier at retaking mid and getting that push, but they made up for it here, I think.
Yeah, and look at that. Not only did they take a big lead, they still have control of the map. They still have more clams to push forward, and they're simply holding the positions that they have. It's going to be very, very rough for Goop to get back into mid. But Goop is fighting. They already retook control of their own platform as well. He's still trying to push forward. The walls are helping. Can they get back under the basket? They have 2 super clams and lots of small ones as well. That could be the KO if they can reopen that basket. And with 3 players down, that is going to be game number 1 for WoW.
That was three power clams in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
That was insane. Well, you love to see it. That was a nice, and I like it when we start a game and we can't tell who's gonna win. Like at the beginning, I couldn't tell if either WoW or Goop was gonna take it, so I'm glad to see that. Yeah. I like games like these personally. Oh, up next we've got Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge. How do we feel about this map mode combination, Pat?
There's one weapon that is quite often slept on, especially for Rainmaker, and that's Blobber. So I hope we get to see the Blob again. This is Blob's best mode, so this could be a good way for Goop to get back into the game. We saw WoW kind of struggled, especially at the start of the game, but WoW is that kind of team, these kinds of players that are really high levels. They know how to adapt, and around the end of the game, it was not the same as the beginning. WoW really had the control, was winning the fight, was taking the space, and really they struggled at first to fight this unusual comp, but now it looks like they've figured it out. So Goop needs to either throw more surprises at WoW, or they need to really get something more solid, go faster, get more paint, get more fight. Goop needs now to adapt. But again, Rainmaker is probably the mode that they want to see right now, because this is the one that is the best for the Blob.
I actually wanted to say, and this is really funny, like before I even entered the comp scene while I was still playing 2, like right before like 3 was coming out, I was like, oh well, I gotta grind Splatoon 2 to get ready for 3, because I'd taken a big break from 2, and then 3 came out. I was like, oh, the 3 announcement came out. I was like, well, I gotta play Blob Camp Triggerfish. I don't know why. I was like, I'm a god on this map mode with Blob. So hearing that from you makes me feel seen, Pat. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's lots of weapons that can work, don't work well in competitive, but can still deal a lot of damage, especially in solo queue. If you know how to use it and your opponent doesn't, you're always going to have an edge.
It looks like we have the Kraken Blob brought out, which is... Oh, and we also have the Sea Blaster on the side of WoW. Gotta love that good triple splashdown.
Yeah, I mean, a good old big explosion is always the best way to stop a Rainmaker right in its tracks. So, splashdown, it just works. And right now, thanks to the Kraken, it looks like Goop are able to get the better hang of this first fight. It's really on Phoenix with the Blaster Phoenix. I mean, an incredible player right there, able to allow the rest of WoW to get back in positions, and with a few extra splats. We're still fighting for mid right now, but it looks like WoW are able to get more and more paint. And I feel like they're going to be the first team to grab the Rainmaker and move forward. But no, not yet, not yet. Here comes another Kraken, and it looks like we're still fighting for usual right now.
Yeah, this is... very rarely do I see, like, it this neutral this far into the game already. But like I said, I love to see games like that. The Kraken came out and a bunch of like we've seen like at least 2 specials, and like there's been no movement. So it's very interesting to see. We see the Gal push forward, that wall being essential. We get 2 picks. Can we get a 3rd? We get the 3rd on top, we activate Aura. Now all we have to do is push forward. There's only 1 left. They get this checkpoint, and they immediately have a good lead starting here with about a minute and a half in.
Yeah, they got the lead, they got the checkpoint, but they lost a few too many players. That will allow Goop to get back in control of the Rainmaker to chase them away, which means we're getting back to a fight for mid. I mean, this is kind of the deal with this map. Either, but for a long while, you get a big fight for mid. Both teams are trying to get the upper hand, and when one team has enough, they grab the Rainmaker, they run forward, they get to a checkpoint of further, and it looks like, wow, are building another advantage, and they're going to go forward once again, except this time there is no checkpoint. This time any point they get is extra points, and they're ready to move in. We're only halfway through the game, and it's
wow.
only been wow.
Oh, I say, oh wow, I didn't even mean it that way. Just seeing that blaster come up, try to splash down, unsuccessful. The Rainmaker just fall back down, staying alive, but not really making progress, and watching that timer go down. If they don't make it any faster sooner, they're gonna explode, and that is gonna give Goob a lot of real estate on the map. There's 25, doesn't matter, as the Kraken gets not one, not two, but maybe three? No, we'll take it, we'll keep it at 2. As WoW goes 2 down, with 2 minutes left, it's Goob's time. Goob's time to turn the tables.
These Krakens, they have been key for Goob to breathe. Every single time we see Goob struggling in every fight until the Kraken is there, and then finally Goob can get things back to normal, get back the ground that they lost. But, well, I mean, during these moments before the Kraken comes, they've been able to grab points, and now it's on Goob to find a way to not just retake the things that they lost, but push forward. They need something big to come, and they already lost 2 players. The Rainmaker is popped in yellow, aka green, right there, and it's always WoW that is keeping control of the pace of the game. The Kraken not able to find much right here. It's kind of looking rough for Goob, as WoW right now all they need to do is to keep things in the middle. But they lost a few too many players. This is finally Goob grabbing the Rainmaker, scoring points. Now can they get the checkpoint?
I will say, I don't think that Kraken pop was the right play. Like, they didn't have enough real estate in mid to push forward enough to like, capitalize on it. None of their players could push forward. So if the Kraken went forward, it would be at risk of immediately being punished. So I think that's why that Kraken didn't get as much real estate as it could have. But it doesn't seem to matter, as Goob did get stopped. But with 30 seconds left, they're still in mid and trying to retake it. WoW trying their best not to let them get like any further. We see one pick, we see the splashdown come out, doesn't get the pick, we see a blaster fight, they trade each other!
Trades are not the best thing for Goob, but they're better than nothing right now. 15 seconds left and the dream is still alive. Goob needs a monster push, but if they can take that checkpoint and still be in control of the surroundings, a repop would give them the lead right now. 2 down onto WoW. Goob running towards the checkpoint. They are so close to it, but one blast shot will be the end of the Rainmaker. WoW is up 2-0.
Honestly, like I said, like all Goob really needed to do was just paint more. They needed more paint, especially in mid. And they have the weapons to do so. I feel like they needed to, and as a good friend once told me, don't be rash, slow down. Yes, this is a fast-paced game, but sometimes you need to take a second, wait for your team, and then push in together. It'll give you a good chance to not only take the space that you need, but when you drop, you have not only a place to push forward to get the picks that you need, but if it gets too dangerous, you can nope out of there and paint for special. There are so many strategies you could think of if you just slow down.
But it's not easy, Slab, because WoW, they're not here to slow down. They're constantly going in and making sure that there's a fight, either from the 52 gal or the blaster. There was always someone from WoW to make sure Goob was in a fight, to make sure Goob could not be comfortable and simply paint and simply wait for good things to happen. Goob was defending, fighting for their lives throughout this game, and in the end they were not that far from the checkpoint. They were not that far behind, but not that far behind is not the same as in front. And Goob right there, they need to be able to establish their game, and as you said, their game relies on being able to take control, to being able to hold the space that they have, on patience, on pacing themselves. But if they want to do that, they need to, and there's no other way to say it, they need to shoot WoW as WoW is running at them, and they need to be able to punish WoW as WoW is running forward, which is much easier said than done. Now, wow, just switching to the decapitator here. Will
Oh,
have a bit
interesting.
more options to control space. They have an extra bubbler, and that bubbler will make sure that WoW can simply say, "Hey, this is the spot that we control now."
An extra bubbler? There's only one bubble on each side.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I was just a little confused, my bad. Whoa, WoW immediately goes 3 down, though, in the span of 20 seconds?
and
But
then
still... Go ahead, go ahead.
it's been WoW's strategy to simply run forward. Goob can't punish them, and Goob just did that, knowing, hey, they're gonna run at us. We know what to do. Just shoot forward in front of us, and we can punish them. That's exactly what they needed to do. They got it. Now they're past the first checkpoint, and here comes the hard one. The second checkpoint is usually the one that decides things. But yeah, I mean, all of WoW has respawned, and all of WoW is already on the attack. We see Dylan really going in with that decapitator and creating space for the rest of the team. It's going to be WoW's turn to push.
I will say I have picked up the Decapitator just to mess around with it recently. It is a fun weapon. I see why it's being used a lot more. It's good at covering paint coverage. It's got good damage. It combos with our current meta weapons: Blaster, Gal, Pencil. It's just a really good is it all an off-meta weapon if it works so well? I don't know. Whoa, that Pencil gets an amazing pick on just the Goob in the back, and they're just not even giving them a chance to even stop them as they get past that pivotal second checkpoint, like you were pointing out there, Pat.
Yeah, and well, right now activating the vacuum to make sure they secure this third and final checkpoint. Whoa, I mean, game 1 and game 2, it looked like Goob was able to really fight, was able to really hold things, but this one was all WoW, and WoW died in the first push, and then came back with a vengeance, came back harder, stronger, and did not stop.
I mean, all I can really say about that is, wow. Oh, no, I could say more. I mean, I agree, but as you could tell, I mean, sometimes really, like, you could be pushing in a set, and sometimes the fatigue really does get to you, especially when you're fighting a team at the same skill level, or like slightly better, slightly worse. It can be exhausting, and that might have been what we were seeing towards the end. There is just Goob running out of steam.
Yeah, Goob was having more and more trouble fighting this WoW team throughout this set, and we could see, WoW, I mean, they got faster, they got more and more efficient in what they were doing, which means they are pushing their way onto the upper bracket finals. I mean, they'll see number 1, so we could expect that to happen. Now, Slat, we're going to take a short break, and we'll see more of WoW when we get to see the finals.
Can't wait. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Paddling Pool 382. I'm Slat, and I'm joined by our wonderful headcaster at Dapple, Pat. How we doing, Pat?
I am doing great, thank you. And especially since we're about to watch the upper bracket finals between WoW and Sunflower, our top two teams of the day, ready to duke it out in a best of 5 for the spot in grand finals.
Exactly, and I'm super excited to see both of these teams. We just watched WoW absolutely dominate their last set. While I haven't been able to really follow Sunflower, let's check how they've been doing so far. I mean, they are seed 2,
Yep.
with WoW being our seed 1. I mean, WoW did really show us who's boss in that last game. For sure. But, let's see here. Okay, they didn't really, like, go super crazy. Like, they dropped a game.
Hey.
But with that, we're going right in. Let's see what weapons we have.
Yeah, so one thing to note is that WoW just had to sub in a player because I believe Phoenix had to go. So now it's going to be someone else in the Blaster, but we have everybody here. Very similar compositions between these two teams. We have quite the classic weapons on each side. I think also our colors are inverted. WoW is in pink and Sunflower is in green right there. Sunflower bringing the roller. I love to see rollers. Rollers have been on the rise lately.
Absolutely, I highly agree. And as much as I dislike Dynamo, I've been enjoying seeing it a lot more, especially the cooler one. It's a really good cooler weapon. We see that backshot come out, but because of the bubble, they weren't able to get anything with it. And we see multiple members of Sunflower immediately go down. They build a power clam, but aren't able to throw it in the basket quite yet here, Pat.
Yeah, they get punished before they can get to the basket. That is big. Sunflower now retaking their control around mid, establishing themselves. Between them, they have a bunch of clams. If they can get some presence, if they can manage to go forward, they could get a good lead. But right now they're still waiting for the way forward. The Blaster behind the vacuum is going to deal some damage. That's 3 down onto Sunflower. WoW will have the opportunity to move forward now.
I won't lie, Pat. That pick made me jump in my seat. I wasn't expecting that immediate back switch up to immediately just flick and shoot immediately. Sunflower has a good control of mid, but with both bubbles out, it feels like they're at a little bit of a stalemate, not really able to push too much forward. As WoW was matching their paint and repainting over the Spacer Chang, we see Splashdown come out. It takes a pick. Sunflower is 3 down. This is giving WoW a chance to get back in and absolutely start scoring. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, right there, basket getting open, but 3 players down onto WoW. They're able to get the second clam in there, so they get the lead, but they lost all of their players. This means that that's a free push for Sunflower pretty much. They already have Bonk with the roller going forward, but they're not able to really establish themselves onto the platform. They went a bit too fast, and now WoW will be able to get back into mid, and well, it looks like WoW just wasted a lot of resources to get the lead, but now they just have the lead, and we're back to a fight for mid, Slat.
Did I just hear 2 coolers pop off, by the way? Just one after the other. I think everyone's thirsty. Well, everyone grab their drinks and get into mid, and let's see this fight. So like we said, Sunflower has once again, a good, strong hold on mid, but they are currently behind by 30 points. So all they really need to do is get a ball and some change in. And we see them, they're pushing in. They have a decent hold, but one of them does go down. We see Bonk fighting for their life. They get not one, but 2. Can they get a third here? As they are not successful. They are pushing forward. The decap comes in and gets a pick as they jump in here, Pat. WoW is not letting them in.
WoW able to really deny the way forward once Sunflower is able to get some ground. And which means we're back to a fight for mid. These two teams have each had a small push, but they've been fighting to try to get really the big advantage. They know what usually decides these games of Clamvits is one big push with a lot of clams. We have yet to see that right there. Rusty activating the vacuum, wanting to get the team forward, and with the vacuum explosion, they'll be able to get some space right there. But will that be enough? Neither team really able to get enough of an advantage, enough of momentum right there. So Sunflower right now still next to the basket, still trying to go in, but Annabelle has to move back. They have to respect their opponent, who still haven't gotten that basket open. As WoW is fighting pretty well to punish everybody. 2 down on Sunflower. The push does not pay.
We see, so they are able to get the basket open, and Bonk is still here trying to throw clams and isn't able to keep it open, unfortunately. That was a crazy push. Last second, very desperate on the side of Bonk there, but hey, sometimes you gotta try. There's 30 seconds left and you're the only one left. 1, you're getting potential jumps, and 2, you're trying to keep that basket open as long as possible. Because so now they have 20 seconds to build the ball. They don't have a pity, while WoW has 2, and they're currently in the lead. Not by much, but still by a decent bit here.
Yeah, very, like, Sunflower just had to use all of their resources and didn't get the lead. That is going to cost them right now. We're about to enter overtime. Sunflower was able to make a super clam, which means they will unlock the overtime, but they need that one push to work. They need everything to go their way. The vacuum is ready. They need that vacuum to really work well. The vacuum is enabling the ball to go forward, but not enough. It's a wipeout. Game number 1 of this winners finals goes to WoW.
And I just want to mention, like I said earlier, when you're facing WoW in that position, they had what they needed to push. Then they still had a lot of the overtime timer left. Slow down. I know you're freaking out that the overtime is running out. That you need to get in. You see at least one of your teammates go down. You need to be careful, especially in that instant, because didn't they only need that ball in to win? Because I think that would have been enough to not only break penalty, but give them the lead. So all they had to do was get that one power clam in. Let's all slow down. Let's not let's not be rash.
Hey,
and let's head over and get some ramen.
Hey, Slad, that was their plan. That was what they were trying to do. When you have that vacuum, you want to make sure you can move forward slowly and really count your ground. But one had Sunflower surrounded there. WoW was everywhere around that map and was making sure that whatever Sunflower did, there was chaos around. There was always someone to fight to the side, and that they could not really get the push that they wanted. Now, we are no longer going to try to get under the opponent's spawn. We're going to have to hold mid because we are going to splat zones. Splat zones on Robo-Roman, very much one of these ultra classic map modes for these two teams.
I did want to say the reason I felt like they were rushing, it wasn't the VAC that I thought was rushing. The VAC was going fine. You know, the person with the power clam, I felt like they went a little too far forward. They still have access to their weapon. They could have turned around and helped out while still standing in the VAC to have that protection.
Yeah.
But I can understand why in that moment you're like, ball basket now, so I win. Very, very easy to be like, oh, the basket is right there. But, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. Yeah, the VAC did slow down. I don't know who had the power clam, but I saw them. The moment that VAC came out, they're like, well, we're going this way now, and they zoomed forward.
Yep, it's always rough to coordinate things right there, but we'll see if Sunflower can adapt. We saw a lot of good moves by Sunflower, really able to bring the fight to WoW. We didn't get that big push of Clamblitz. Neither team was able to really get more than a few clams in the basket now. On zones, we're likely to see someone hold the zone. And one thing to note in terms of going slow, both of these 96 Gaup, they have triple swim speed up on themselves because they know they want the vacuum to be able to reposition as fast as they can. That's how you play vacuum these days. You want to just follow your opponent as fast as you can, and for that you need all the swim speed between each use of your vacuums. Right now, WoW opening with a pretty strong push, and that splashed out in the opponent's spawn will really allow them to take control of the whole map.
I was wanting to say it, but I think you answered my question. You cannot, Vac is especially you can't swim with, correct? I never use it.
You can swim while it is, but yes, you can swim.
You waste time.
You waste time, but if you have spin speed, you're not wasting that much time.
Yeah, I get you, I get you. And, hey, sometimes you just need to get that Vac in fast, and as we see Sunflower's turn to hold, they have Cooler out, and it's their turn. See, that's what the thing with Robo Ramen, it's either you're fighting in mid, or you're in the other person's plat trying to hold them off. But that's the thing, there are so many flanks and opportunities to get back in. As you see, WoW is trying their best to take advantage of that. Yukari comes in with the Vac, gets it ready, doesn't need to paint zone with it, so they push forward with it, is able to get a pick on the tip of the Vac range there.
Beautiful, beautiful pick. The 96 Jal, it plays so well with the vacuum. It has the right range to punish the people that go to the side, and that's what you want to see right now. Wow, no penalty, holding strong. The strikes are gonna come in. They're going to neutralize the zone, but neutralize doesn't mean cap. And right now it's on Sunflower to really win that fight forward. They're able, thanks to the bubbler, to really establish themselves, and now it's going to be them taking control around Sandwich with the blaster, able to really get a few splats, get some presence, and establish Sunflower on the map. But before they even get the penalty done, WoW is already back in mid.
It's just like you mentioned, Tom, during that Clan Blitz game where there was just no points getting that. This zone is switching colors every 20 seconds. Yep. It is a very close match, which, like I said earlier, I love to see these. Like you said, we're gonna be inching ever closer during this Winter Bracket Finals, I think. As we see Yukari come back up, we see a Slosher get a pick, but they immediately try to get put. There's only one guy left, and it's the roller.
It's just Bonk. Bonk is going to get the zone for free. Everybody respawns though, but the bubbler is in the right position. That is huge for Sunflower, just having still one player ready to retake the zone right there. But all of WoW is back into the fight. They also have a bubbler. That's the power of Tactical for you. And we're back to another fight, Slat.
Yeah, absolutely. And those strikes did come out, but didn't really take much space. They kind of were just tossed haphazardly. And I feel like I can say that as a strike user, you got to either take space or take zone. And I don't feel like either was really done there. I feel like it was just a panic special. I hope it's just because like they thought that like there was a bunch of people over there, but it doesn't seem to matter because they once again immediately flipped the zone back over in their color. And with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, Pat, what do you think Sunflower has to do? They just broke penalty to catch up to WoW and make this game set 1-1.
I mean, it's gonna sound dumb, but they need to hold the zone. They've been able to do everything except really stay in control of the zone long enough to make points, but right now Bonk is doing the work. That's why you want a roller in your team, but Dylan behind everybody's back, just capping the zone single-handedly and getting extra splats as well. That's still penalty, that's still the lead in the hands of WoW. Sunflower needs to do it all over again. They need to hold that zone. Moving forward is nice, but you need to paint the zone.
Look, I 100%, I'm on the same page as you. Just paint the zone, guys. Get your picks and paint the zone. We have Cooler. You have your strikes to keep the zone. You've got +10 penalty and 5 points. We see the splashdown come out to try to take the zone with a mix of the Vac to immediately take it and immediately put the Vac in a penalty. With 20 seconds left, Sunflower's about to take the zone back. Is successful. It's going back and forth in this last 20 seconds here, Pat.
Yep, and right there, we're about to enter the final end of the time, and WoW is holding the zone. They want to deny overtime. They don't even want that to happen. Bonk going in is going to trade with the Decapitator. Overtime is happening. Can they hold the everybody from WoW is there to paint, is there to fight. And it looks like the zone is going to flip to green. That is 2-0 for WoW, who are now 1 game away from Grand Finals.
Wow. I mean, that was crazy. Just seeing that, how hard Rusty fought to pick off that Vac, only for the blaster to rush in, die, and have it paint the other side of the zone that just needed a little bit more paint on it. And that sometimes, hey, I know you're trying to paint that zone. do not stand on the zone. When you get picked, you are helping the enemy team paint the zone. And I play Octoshot and Dapples. I am a victim of this. I get picked off on zone. It's like, well, no, and then they take it, and it's very frustrating. But hey, it's not over for Sunflower yet. We still have 3 more games we could play, and we're next. Let's go shopping, Pat. You need some cereal?
Yeah. But what we just saw right there, Slat, is what you see at every level of play. Most of the time, when you're going to get a splat, you're gonna get splatted back within 5 seconds, because that's how it goes. You're shooting at someone else is shooting at you. There's always going to be someone to punish you for extending for that fight. Which means you don't want to fight on the zone, which means you want to move back and live another day sometime. That might be better than just splatting the other guy. And right there, we saw Sunflower pay the price for it. Now we are going to tower control on Macomart, one of these classic tower control maps. And big points for both teams. Both teams have tools to deny the tower, but especially WoW has a blaster. A blaster on here, they're very, very dangerous.
Look at this amazing gal movement. I love seeing shooters with their move. As I say that, they immediately go down to the pressure blaster. A lot of violence happening in mid here, as one after another we're using specials and main weapons who just get pick after pick, where we just have at least what an amazing shot on the. Whoa! Pat, I need you to take over. I'm getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I mean, it's how the games go, especially on Macomart. You're going to have fights left and right, and they're all close range fights. And right now, neither team really able to get the upper hand. On here, you really need to get a lot of splats before you can move forward. Right now, wow, with their blaster deep in enemy territory, we're able to get some momentum. But look, they still haven't gotten to the first checkpoint, because there's always a way back in. There's always a ledge to hide behind and get into another fight. On here, Sunflower is back into mid. I mean, we're going to see more of these fights, 2 down on each side. Nobody's really able to get control of mid yet.
And I don't blame them. There's so much violence and bloodshed happening that no one really has a chance to get on the tower yet. As I say that, Sunflower does try to prove me wrong, and we're having a vac battle where, unfortunately, the other gal turns around and gets a pick, but the other vac comes out to keep it on the tower, as they're so close to breaking checkpoint here, Pat, and they are successful. We see the gal go forward immediately, trying to, capitalize on this push, trying to make it to that next checkpoint, so it's even easier for Sunflower to get this, because they're match point. They don't want to lose here.
Yeah, Sunflower playing the trade game perfectly. They're able to stay on top. They're going to hold their control. They won't reach checkpoint number 2 though. Everybody from WoW has respawned, is recreating the chaos that they like to play in. And we're back to the fight from in now, Slat. We're back to these 2 teams trying to get the upper hand, trying to get control. I see a lot of purple around. I guess, wow, it's going to be their turn to get to the first checkpoint now.
Absolutely, and they have a bubble on tower, which is gonna expire faster, but it doesn't matter. It was just enough for them to break that checkpoint, which, like you said, once you break a checkpoint, you just start racking up points. So sometimes that's all you need to do, whether it be Rainmaker or tower control. As we see here, we see that vac go out to try to take a little more space. Even if you ain't hitting someone, as long as you are putting that ink in that space, you're gonna push people back regardless. We see an amazing, once again, these decaf picks are insane.
Yeah, that was beautiful placement. Well done by Dylan right there. But it's still Sunflower able to get back to mid. We've been at a standstill since both teams have gotten the first checkpoint. And we know whichever team is able to reach the second checkpoint will have a huge advantage for the rest of the game. We'll only have 1.5 minutes left, and right now, nobody's really able to push forward.
Yeah, and the WoW is trying to take advantage of that fact, but they don't really have the paint to capitalize as once again the decaf comes out. Every time that decov comes out, it's a shock every time. And it makes me forget my train of thought. But what I was saying was they didn't have enough paint before, but as I say that, the strikes do come out, but they are starting to paint more. And with a minute left here, Pat, all they really have to do is go a little further, not even have to break another checkpoint in order to take the lead here.
Yeah, right now, we're in the last minute. Sunflower still has the advantage, but there's a bubbler on the tower. With that bubbler is forfeited right there. Dylan has to go back to regroup with the team. He's going to be splatted, and it looks like Sunflower are holding strong, are able to really establish their game, paint around. They know there's only 30 seconds left, and they don't even need to push anymore. All they need to do is keep their specials ready, have everything in place to deny whatever WoW wants to throw at them, and it looks like it's working. 2 down on WoW.
An amazing catch. Did you see the other vac come out and catch the vac shot? Oh my goodness. And Sunflower is not going to let WoW have this easy win. And 5 seconds left. They're standing on... Well, they got off the tower, but they have the tower. And with that, we are not quite ending this set yet. We're now at a 2-1.
Yes, Sunflower able to put a point on the board. And what a point. I mean, that was tense from beginning to end. I know some people like to think that some people like to say that when there isn't a KO, when there isn't a big score, the game was boring. That wasn't boring to watch. A lot happened there. It's just that these two teams were constantly checking each other, not letting each other get away with anything. And we had to move back to mid to get more fight before going in. Sunflower able to keep the delay on, deny WoW their push forward, which means they get their 1 point. And now Sunflower, he's pretty happy because we are going to Humpback Pump Track, and Sunflower is the team with a roller.
Bonk, 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 bonk. Sorry. I love bonk. I wanted to say, like, I agree with you so heavily. I hate it when people are like, oh, wow, they didn't knock out. What a bad game. No, the game is even better if there's no knockouts, because it's so close that each team is grasping for the tower. Why did you want to see that? Like, what? You want to see a game end quickly? Wow. Okay, guys. All right. Me personally, I'm with you, Pat. I want to see them fighting for that tower, just like we're about to see them fighting for this Rainmaker on Humpback. So many hills.
Yeah, a lot of hills, of course, and a lot of fighting. But one thing is for sure, 2 weapons that we're going to see coming back is going to be the Q96 from each side. Once you're past the checkpoint, you activate the vacuum, and you can really allow the Rainmaker to move forward for free. You get 3 points, perfectly safe. Your opponent is forced to just wait for the vacuum to be over, and even when it is, there's a big explosion coming your way. I bet a lot of pushes will be decided by how much the vacuums can be optimized, because these vacuums, they work so well, especially for Rainmaker, especially on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I could just say, like, I am... Ooh, these games are really taking a lot out of me. In a good way, way. Like I was saying before our stream, for those of you who don't know, I didn't sleep well, and I woke up. I had to be here for this. I can't miss it for the world. But the amazing play, I feel like every time I'm hopping on a set, specifically paddling pool too, the plays are getting better. I'm seeing not only like our high level players, but our mid and low level players I feel like everyone's getting better at this game, and gosh, I love Splatoon. I love Splatoon.
Not everyone is getting better at this game, but the people that play paddle pool every week, I assure you they get better. Because if you play it over and over, if you learn from your mistake, if you force yourself to play against players that are better than you, you reach that level. That's what's going to happen. All of these players that got good, they got good by playing in weeklies. That's why I love to see weeklies so much, because that's where you know who is going to be good.
Exactly. And like, I wish more people were watching our weeklies. Come on, guys. Tell your friends. Like, is this not peak Splatoon? I know you're at lunch at work, or if you don't work, it's your day off. Second monitor, chat. Come on. Don't worry, Slat. I'm watching. Thank you, Neko Koneko. It is peak Splatoon. That is right. Absolutely. And oh my gosh, this game is amazing.
Yeah.
I just love What's up?
We do love this game. That's why we're here. And yeah, there's always more to see. Now, we're getting notified by someone on the side of Sunflower is forced to do a short delay. They'll be back in a second. But yeah, we have a short break to reminisce about how much we love Splatoon.
I'm a big fan of when, it's my favorite part.
I mean, what?
Oh, we're here.
Oh, yep, but they're back in already. They are.
I really want to know what
ready.
your question was. You're gonna have to tell me real quick. What was your question? I gotta know.
I mean, we're back in the game. Game 4, match point of the upper bracket finals. WoW only needs to win this one, but Sunflower Sunflower. They are ready. But I just noticed that WoW is bringing a Luna Blaster. These Hammer, they're going to bring an extra protection to the Rainmaker when they want to push forward.
I love how you say that as the Luna Blaster, since they're the only one that immediately picks up the Rainmaker. That is good for them, I agree, because that is another weapon that is really good for all of the ledges on these maps. Oh, we see a little skirmish happening here in the little alleyway as Sunflower immediately takes first check within the first 35 seconds and is immediately trying to get further. We see the Luna's Ultra Step comes out, and we just have the Rainmaker just start pushing. And hey, sometimes that's what you need to do on this map, because like maps with one checkpoint, like Manta Maria, Manta Arena has 2. Maps that have one checkpoint, you got to get past it, or else once they get past that checkpoint even a little bit, the lead is theirs.
Yeah, by the way, this map has 2 checkpoints. There's one on the other side. That's not as fast, but yeah, there's 2 checkpoints here. Right now,
listen.
WoW is still playing defense. WoW is still struggling right now as Sunflower is simply maintaining the pressure. That's what you want to do. And now that the vacuum is on, look at that, 3 points for Sunflower. They get to 21, and then a few more explosions. Bonk is still around. Bonk is still dancing around in the street. He's going to get a few extra points. That's the end of that push, but I mean, a minute and a half into the game, Swell hasn't broken the checkpoint and Sunflower is already at 18. That's a pretty good lead.
And as you say that, WoW immediately counters with not only 3 down, but with a checkpoint break, and all they have to do is get past 18 in order to take the lead. As the vac comes out, they take the lead, and are they just gonna place it? They are.
The vac.
And with that, WoW, go ahead.
The vac and the hammer. The vac and the hammer. Protecting.
Mm-hmm.
That's WoW.
Hey, sometimes you just need tools. And sometimes you just need a vacuum and a hammer to get the job done.
I mean, especially in Rainmaker, you're not allowed to blink. Overall in Splatoon, you're blinking means death. In Rainmaker, it means you lose the whole game. And that's 3-1 for WoW. They are qualified for Grand Finals on the upper side. But we're not done with the tournament yet. We still have to watch all of the lower bracket. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right in a minute. And we're back. We are in the lower bracket semifinals. It is the powerful rappers going against Goob that we saw earlier. Right there. Right now it is 0-1 in favor of Goob. Goob got game number 1, but we get to see the rest of this best of 3, which means if Goob wins this next game, they are qualified for the low bracket for the low bracket finals.
Which I am excited for. If I'm trying to remember correctly, didn't Goob and WoW play on Museum and WoW take it? So Goob redeemed themselves. They were able to take a Museum Clams game. And now we're going to Mini Moray Towers, Brine Water Springs Splat Zones.
Yes, Brine Water Springs right there. Map that is very good for long range. And we'll see. Oh, it looks like there is an Eliter on the side of Powerful Rappers. So Powerful Rappers will have a bit more range, will have the opportunity to maybe snipe their opponents. We'll see if that plays in their favor.
I really like seeing the more out there comps versus like our meta picks. Like, I'm a big fan of Powerful Rappers comp. I like the Nautilus. I think it's really good for paint control, like area control, and that E-Leader, like you said, that range on it is insane. So hopefully they're able to use that to their advantage and take over the zone, as Goob does take for 2 points and counting, and within the first 30 seconds here.
Yeah, right now we're still in the fight for mid, but it looks like Powerful Rapper has established themselves above the zone. Now Goob has a lot of paint, especially thanks to that blob, but they can't really stay near the zone as long as the Eliter is in position, and that Eliter is in the exact spot we expect them to be right now, which means the clock is ticking in favor of the Rappers.
Yeah, and honestly, that's really good for them, but also I'm looking at the specials in the end of the team. They have a lot of opportunities to displace that E-Leader to push forward. As I see that, Goob does immediately push forward to start harassing said E-Leader and giving their pencil the opportunity just set up on zone, as they are very close to taking the lead here.
Yep, Goob able to set themselves. They have the paint, they have the presence. It's on the Rappers to move forward and get some ground right now. Nobody's able to really get the upper hand, but with the Wave Breaker on the zone and lots of special being used, it looks like Powerful Rapper are able to retake control, 3 down as well, and the Blaster is pushing up the ramp. Powerful Rapper really not wasting a second. The splashdown was not able to get the splats, but it still allowed everybody else from the Rappers to really take control of a lot of space. And now Goob has a lot of pressure to get back onto the zone. I think we're likely to see, the Rappers stay in control and get the lead.
Yeah, which was an amazing push from their end. Like, they're showing Goob that they're not out of this yet, as Goob does also say, well, then check this out. As they take the zone is well, this is very similar to the one time we saw that zone flashing back and forth earlier. So, honestly, Powerful Rappers are only 6 points ahead. So, and we're halfway through the game, so it's not over yet. Goob has the opportunity. We see if Cooler are able to come out. They just need to push right here, right now.
Yeah, right now, Goob fighting to the side. Powerful Rappers getting a lot of trades, but also getting the zone back. 2 versus 2 on the zone right now, with people trying to get their control. And that's Goob still fighting for it, able to get some paint on the zone again, but they don't need paint on the zone. They need control around the zone if they want to be able to get rid of their penalty. And this time, the splashdown is going to find a splat. That is huge for the Powerful Rappers. They are slowing down the next push by Goob, and Goob, that rain is not going to be as effective as the Powerful Rappers right now. Oh wait, no, Goob is still able to win that teamfight, which means they'll get control of the zone.
Wow, that rain was... like, everyone ignored it, and it worked out in Goob's advantage. They were able to push forward and just take the zone immediately, which is good for them because they're at a penalty 7, 6, 5 and counting, which gives them a chance to take a lead here with still a minute left. So it's still anyone's game, but also, like I said, we talked about earlier, very small map. It's easy to get into the zone very quickly. The game could end in any moment, but also with the picks that Powerful Rappers are picking on Goob, it's not going to be enough as they take the zone back.
Yeah, and that is Powerful Rappers now. They are the ones who need to play catch up, but we've seen so much back and forth. Penalty is very, very low now in the last minute. Powerful Rappers now scoring points. They know that all they need to do is deny the next push by Goob. That would allow them to get the lead. Goob trying to go in, able to deny control for a second, but losing 2 players. That's the lead for Powerful Rappers. That's going to be rough for Goop to get back in. They need to paint, and they need to paint now. There's a wave breaker for Powerful Rappers. And with just a few more seconds, oh, Goop still alive, Slat.
Yeah, they just immediately, they were like, nope, not yet. You were 2 points away, but check this out. There's 15 seconds left. We can still take this. And we see the Blah Blubber get special. All they really do need to do now is hold. Is that Rain gonna come out to try to take space? Not quite. Oh, I see. They might use it to counter because the Nautilus was able to get the Rain out. There goes the Rain, like we said. All they have to do is hold this overtime and get to 1 tick here, Pat. Can they do it?
Well, with 2 players down, it looks like Powerful Rappers will be able to get back on the zone, calm and collected. It wasn't really the special that allowed them back in. It was simply team coordination, knowing where to be, what to do. It looks like we are going to a game 3 as the Powerful Rappers tie up the score.
Which, I mean, I can't complain about that personally.
Yep.
Because who isn't a fan of Inkblot Tower Control? I love Inkblot Tower Control. But real quick, before we get to that, let's take a minute and talk about that last game, because it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, I specifically want to point out the fact that, like, even though Goob had such a strong presence for when they were on the offensive, Powerful Rappers' defense was amazing, and they were really good at switching it back to their color at the exact moment that they needed to.
I mean, Powerful Rappers, first of all, they have an E-liter, and E-liter is going to make your team more solid, whatever happens. E-liter has that one-shot potential that can threaten everybody everywhere on the map. You always have to take it into account, especially on a map like Brownwater. But also, they have Titterly. If you don't know Titterly, you might be new to paddling pool. A year or 2 ago, Titterly was winning every paddling pool. And still is an incredibly good support player. And when you have a solid E-liter and a good, solid support player, you have a team that can take as many risks as they want. That can be in as any fight as they want, because they know they'll always have paint, they'll always have a spot to super jump back to. So yeah, that is the strategy for the Powerful Rappers. Now with a Nautilus and an S-Blast, they have a lot of mid-range fighting options. And it's going to be on Goop to really cut the distance and get in range to fight a Mano.
Absolutely, and just to very quickly add on to what you're saying, as that splash zone goes down and doesn't take out Mantle, as they're able to just almost barely not get past the checkpoint. That was a crazy lead. I wanted to say, like you said, if you can have a good support with Cooler, 110%, it is so easy to just get the pushes you need. Enough about that. We have some amazing gameplay happening here that I want to point out. We have the Blaster just guarding that ledge, while the other one's trying to just inch forward just to take it. Goob is about to take the lead here. Not the lead, the checkpoint here. And, oh, the Blaster almost gets the pick, but is not able to.
Yeah, and right now, we see still Goob able to get some presence, get some fight in, but Julie's doing what Julie's do best, running around and now activating Crab Tank. The Blaster will punish them, but that was incredible control of the fight right there. The tower is back in mid as the Goob is trying to push back forward with 2 down onto the Powerful Rappers. It looks like Goob will be able to push their way to, they already got the first checkpoint, so now they need to go to the second.
And like we were saying earlier, getting past that first checkpoint is just so nice. Because now Powerful Rappers not only has to get past that first checkpoint, now to almost the second checkpoint, as Goop is now inching forward. We have them sneaking onto bats with the S-Blast here, trying desperately to keep them at bay. The Nautilus hops in to try to help. They get past the second checkpoint, Pat, and are inching towards the third.
Yeah, beautiful push by Goob, and they still have their position. Look where the Julies are. That's the spot that really locks one side of the map and slow down all the defense from powerful rappers. Particularly being able to get the splat on the Julies there is really what allowed the powerful rappers to get back control of the tower. And now we're back in mid, halfway through the game. Goop got a good push. Now it's on the powerful rappers to match that, but they just lost their backline and their support. That's going to be rough for them. I mean, Nautilus and Esbas, they're good, but they need Paint to be effective, and they just lost their Painter. Right now, Goop, they simply can do what they want around the map.
Goob is doing an amazing job here, Pat, at just absolutely punishing powerful rappers whenever they get a chance to, whether it's be 1 or 2 picks at a time. It's just not giving them an opportunity to even get to the first checkpoint, as Goob is once again in control of the tower and is, ooh, an amazing pick, and a second amazing pick. Ooh, I was gonna say Goob is taking advantage of this, but then all of a sudden powerful rappers, not only with the 2 E-liter picks, but the blaster sneak from behind.
That's what an Eliter can do for your team right there. But getting splat is one thing. You need to get the checkpoints. And powerful rappers, each time they're able to take control of the surrounding of the tower, they're able to push the tower to the first checkpoint. They're not really able to go do much more now. With 2 players down and the Booyah Bomb really opening the field, can powerful rappers get forward? They're not able to get the top part of the opponent's platform, which means second checkpoint is going to be pretty rough to get with 3 players down. It looks like Goob are able to defend. 1 minute left.
And because of how this game is, that's all they need. Like you said, first checkpoint down, all they need to do is get through the second and a little further. If they could keep up this momentum, and like you said, it's not just about picks. You have to get on that tower. Get your picks and immediately hop on that tower. Get those specials forward. Get moving forward. Press the left stick forward.
Yeah, for sure, right there. And there's always a bit of a struggle for powerful rappers. They know they have to do all the work. They know they have to push forward as they're trying, but they're only able to get trades. Trades is not enough when you want to push. You need clean splats. Now we're going to have to see an overtime. Skittles is on the tower already. Goob, wait, Goob just lost 2 players. This could be the opportunity. Can they deny the tower? No! Goob back on the tower, deny the overtime and get their tickets in lower bracket finals.
Which was a hard-earned win for them, because Powerful Rappers was not going to give it up easy. Like, they showed us that they wanted this just as badly as Goob, but Goob is who came out on top there. And I'm glad we were able to go to a game 3, because like we missed the first one. We didn't really get to see how how dominant Goob played.
Yep.
But hey, we got to see some really good gameplay, and we got Goob inching their way back to Grands. If they can just win losers, and we might be able to see the teams we started with.
Yeah, and one thing to note, these 2 teams also met in the upper bracket, where Goob also beat Powerful Rappers 2-1, so I guess history's rhyming today in favor of Goob.
I mean, sometimes history just has a way of working out like that.
Yep. Now we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back with Goob versus Sandflower for the lower bracket finals.
Hi guys, and welcome back. We are here for our losers finals. We have Sunflower versus Goob. We're immediately going in our first match. No time to think about anything. Let's see, are these weapon comms here?
I mean, we've seen both of these teams. We know what these teams are made of. We know what to expect.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Sunflower rocking the roller comp. Meanwhile, Goob still with the blob blobber. They believe in the blob, and honestly, against a roller, a blob blobber is a good counter because it can really see the curling coming and deny it. But oh, never mind, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
Oh no!
Sunflower
Oh no!
destroying everybody. Take full control of the map just in the first 30 seconds. They already have everything.
I wanted to say, you were like, the blob blubber's great for that roller, and as you said that, the blob blubber immediately got picked off by the pencil.
Yep.
So they had an amazing immediate counter to that blob to immediately take both zones and get a good push going, and we're not even a minute into the game yet.
Yeah, and right now Sunflower shows no sign of slowing down. They still have so much control around the map. That crab tank just got shredded. And then Goob, they're in trouble right there. They finally got rid of the roller demon, but they still have to make do with the rest of that team. Sunflower, they don't want to waste a second. They want their spot in grands.
Absolutely, and as you see, they are absolutely throwing themselves at Sunflower, and it is not enough.
Okay.
Wow. What a first game.
They just speed-ran that game. They just speed-ran winning the game of Splat Zone. They just pushed forward, killed everybody, and waited a minute for the clock to be done. What a first game. Sunflower winning 1-0, and Goob, I mean, like, now they know. They know they can't let Sunflower do that again. They need to be much more solid. They need to keep themselves alive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to throw out the thing I said at the beginning of the stream, don't be rash. I feel like Sunflower took that to heart. They just stood there and let Goob run into them. And sometimes that's what you got to do. Sometimes the other team will get desperate and realize that they're running out of time. So they just start throwing themselves at the zones. And if you're patient and you wait it out and you just take the picks when you can, there's the result. We saw it happen on screen.
Yeah, that was a big opening by Sunflower. Very fast, very powerful, and not letting Goob really get much. But Goob still has a few more games. We are in a best of 5, so Goob are not done yet. They have more opportunities to move forward. We are going straight in Clam Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy. We already saw that map. It's game 2 of the lower bracket finals of Banding Pool 382. Let's get right in the game.
Absolutely. And we see the blob switch immediately on the side of Goob to the Kraken blob, which I see why they picked it here for, you know, pushing into the clam basket up that ramp.
Yeah.
Did we see the slosher last game? Yes, we did. I absolutely remember that us having it. So this comp is honestly, once again, really good for the ledges, both with that slosher and that roller. So I'm excited to see if Sunflower can do what they did again. But now Goob knows to take Sunflower absolutely seriously here, Pat.
Yeah, and they're doing that. Wait, Animal opening the basket, that's 20 points, but I don't think they'll get much more than that. Samage is in the right position. Samage keeping the basket open and the rest of Sunflower respawning in time. Now with a vacuum, what is happening? Sunflower, that push was dead, but they keep it alive. And they put more clams in, 62. What a push right there. They simply are
still going
under the opponent's nose. 3 points remaining. That was supposed to be a dead push, but Sunflower just revived it. Pure necromancy from Sunflower right there.
One of my favorite plays to see in Clam Blitz, Pat, is just like, let's just keep it open for like a minute.
Yeah.
See if we can just do it. and they did a good job. They're already almost to the halfway mark of points. We see Bonk trying to sneak in, Tubba Wubba trying their best to keep him back. The bubble comes out, so they're going for the fan up top to just try to get rid of it. And like you said, Blob is a good roller counter, so much so that Bonk did have to jump out here. But the game isn't even halfway up, so let's see what pushes Goob can make to try to get these points back.
Yeah, right now it looks like Goob were able not just to take a lot of control with the crab tank, they pushed their opponents away from their platform. And now all they need to do is bring that super clan in the basket, but I mean that super clan is the only clan they have. Right now Goob has presence, but I don't think they have the clans to really keep their push going for long. They'll have to move back and hope they can get more clans to keep things going. Meanwhile, Sunflower is simply waiting for Goob to make a mistake. They know they're not at risk in terms of points.
Yeah, absolutely, and we see this ball might go in, but they're not really being given a chance to, as that is a dead push. Honestly, if they went back sooner and got a jump in with that pity, they could have gotten another 20 points easy. But I see why instead they went for the more careful route, especially against Sunflower right here. They want to make sure they have that pity just in case overtime happens. I mean, I guess as they say that, they picked the pity back up, so my bad. Hey, but they do have 2 balls, and the strikes try to come out to stop them. Do we have a flank? We do have a flank with Bonk on the back end trying to stop them from pushing, and gets Goob knocked down 3. But it's not enough. They break the barrier with not only 1 but 2 balls with 3 down. What?
Yeah, these 2 super clans were not dead yet, and Goob got the right splats to allow themselves to get back under that basket. But it's a nice lead for them. And now comes the answer. Sunflower, they know they need to push forward now. They're pretty angry, and they're able to. I mean, one thing to note, Sunflower already has a lot of clans. Wait, they already lost the super clan. Can they maintain the push? A lot of trades are coming left and right between these 2 teams as everybody's trying to keep their push going.
Absolutely, and what a one-man army job from the Dualies again. As we see them go forward, get 1. Oh, they're throwing themselves at 3 people with that outranged them. That was not a good play. The Blob are up there trying to just throw some blobs at them to stop them from getting any closer to that basket. We see Bonk sneak in, is able to get a trade, but that's not enough. We see the ball jump. One of the power clams jump back, and that Sunflower's push is dead. Thankfully, they didn't throw any clams in. They have their clams still, but they've lost control of mid.
Sunflower had 3 super clam, and Bonk was under the basket, but they didn't get the jumps in time. And now, wait, Bonk is back under the basket, opens the basket, nobody can follow through though. That's not going to work well on Sunflower. He's now playing defense. Goob has control of the whole map with 30 seconds left. Sunflower has no coordination right now. They need to get their head back in the game if they want to win this one, because it looks like Goob is doing whatever they want.
Absolutely, and we were talking about one-man army, Splat Kid here. Absolutely pulling out that crap at the perfect moment, letting their team get another ball in, and is throwing more clams in. They only need 2 more to get a knockout in 8 seconds, regardless of whether they get the knockout or not. Sunflower really needs to pull it out of a hat here if they want to win.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, they didn't have a power clam, so it doesn't matter.
No power clam. The basket was about to close, but the power clam was not there yet. That is point for Goob. We are now 1-1.
These games are really heating up, Pat. Like, very rarely do I see not only both in winners but in losers. I never see both of these, like I said earlier, clawing for the objective. Like, they want it so bad, and like usually, like, you do see it, but I feel like never to this degree. And like the skill level we're seeing. Like, I really want to highlight Splat. I think it was SPL Kid on the Dualies when their whole team was down, but there were, like you said, 2 power clams left in Plat. All you got to do is throw them both in. You just got to tap the A button twice. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep, I mean, right there, Goob. Really, in game number 1, we saw them unable to fight Sunflower. Right there, they were on top of the fights. They were winning more fights than Sunflower, getting more splats, more paint, more presence, more pushes, and that paid off. They get their victory 1-1. Now, we're going now to a completely different map mode as we are in the Undertow Spillway on tower control. So that's going to be another dynamic, another way to play. And if there's one weapon that's dangerous here, that's a roller, especially a roller with a bubbler.
Absolutely, especially with Bonk on that roller. It will be good. Also, I could see the Slosher also being helpful for Sunflower here, because like we said, ledges are Sloshers and rollers' best friend, and like honestly, we've seen both teams play really well, so I'm excited to see what plays happen during this match here, Pat.
Yeah, and right now, no surprises in terms of compositions. These teams have been rocking these weapons so far. On the side of Goob, the Blaster will be very much the weapon to watch. Magnolia, very, very strong with that Blaster, and especially on this map mode, the Blaster usually decides who can stay alive and who has to go back to spawn. So yeah, very much a weapon to watch. But right now, it's 2 players down onto Goob. Sunflower will get first control over the tower, and the Kraken will deny though. It's well, nope, never mind. That Kraken can't do enough. Animal stays on the tower, and they already go through a first checkpoint.
Yeah, I mean the Kraken was able to get bonked, but like sometimes one player is not enough. It's not worth it for the use of Kraken, especially if you go down directly after. We see the strikes come out immediately, trying to push them back a little bit. Smudge kind of being backed into a corner, but instead of backing up is pushing forward. Hey, sometimes you just want to go for that pick. Whoa!
That's another splat by Rusty. The Gao, when that Gao is getting the splats, is always so dangerous. Once again, Goob relying on their Kraken to slow down the game, to retake what they've lost. But it's not enough. The Sunflower are back on the attack with the vacuum to protect. That's 3 down onto Goob and a splat on the pencil. Goob is just struggling right now to defend as Sunflower is moving on to the 3rd and final checkpoint.
And like we were talking about earlier, that 2nd checkpoint is so important, and they breeze through it so quickly there, Pat. And as they're breezing through this 3rd one, they really have an opportunity to just very swiftly end this game like they did the first one. And they get knocked off the tower in the last second. Bonk is inching towards it, but it's not enough, as it is now Goob's turn to push forward, get some paint, and with the cooler, this is a good opportunity for them to start getting some points on the board.
Yeah, Goob right there just lost a lot of points. It is now their turn to push forward to get to the checkpoints, and with a Kraken ahead of the tower, they should be able to get through the first one fairly easily. That's usually not the hard one to get. The hard thing starts when you reach the 2nd checkpoint, and now with a crab to protect, it looks like Goob are able to be there, established there, but the strikes will force them to wait a little bit.
Hey, like you were said earlier about that Kraken slowing the game down. Sometimes we just gotta wait in order to get that checkpoint that we want. And it looks like waiting is working in their favor, as they absolutely demolish that 2nd checkpoint. Sometimes patience is a virtue.
Yeah, and right there, it's still a fight for that tower. Both teams are trying to really get the upper hand. Bombo has the bubbler in top mid. That's such a strong position to have your bubbler in, you know. You'll be watching left and right, but Bonk is not really able to use it too much because the rest of the teammates were not there to support. That's allowing Goob to get back on top of the tower. It feels like Sunflower got their one big push, and now they're no longer trying to really get their control, and it's Goob that's playing their game now and getting more and more presence.
Yeah, absolutely, and like I said, Sunflower almost knocked it out, but Goob is showing them that, hey, so can we. And I wanted to point out with the roller, a roller is only as good as their team's paint. If they cannot push forward, then they're going to get punished really easily. Having paint for a roller is absolutely necessary. Speaking of which, the 3rd checkpoint is broken. Not only do they take the lead, but they knock out. Goob takes the 2nd set, with Sunflower getting it down to 3, but Goob said, doesn't matter, we're just going to knock out.
Yeah, beautiful comeback by Goob. It really looked like Sunflower were about to KO in their first push, but it didn't matter. Goob survived, adapted and came back stronger. They are now up 2-1 against Sunflower. And Sunflower, who after the first game were looking invincible, it looks like they're one game away from being out of this tournament completely. As Goob only need one more game to make it to Grands.
Absolutely, and like you said, they were looking invincible. Even in the beginning of that third game too, they were looking pretty unstoppable. But Goob immediately turned it on its head and was just like, check this out. And I mean, I won't lie, I was checking it out.
Yep, I mean, Goob very strong, Goob very, very able to make it work. And we're going to Rainmaker on Scored Gold right there. Map that is very, very good. We saw Goob struggle against WoW, but WoW was, I mean, incredibly dominant, whatever the map and mode. But this is still a very, very good map and mode for Goob. If they can get the blob to get some momentum, this is a good map for them. So all the more pressure on Sunflower. We're supposed to win the last game, but who now have to make the break if they want to make it back to Grands.
Absolutely, and let's see if they have what it takes out of here as we enter our game for they had the Kraken last time. There's no switches up again as we unless that blaster did have the bubble, then we did switch to splashdown. But other than that, these comps are the same as we've always seen, like you said earlier. Let's see what happens. 20 seconds in, we Goob immediately has more paint coverage on the map, and helps with the fact that they were able to get the pop there. But Sunflower is immediately turning it around by getting 2 down and immediately picking up the Rainmaker here, Pat.
Yeah, Sunflower, I mean, they like their strong openings. Once again, they're pushing in, but the Kraken will stop that Rainmaker before it reaches the checkpoint. Denying the checkpoint here is incredibly important, but Sunflower, they're not done. They have the bubbler right there, they have the strikes, and Snitch is going to get to the checkpoint, crawl their way here, not able to go through it though. Good defense by Goob, still able to hold right there, but the repop was still for Sunflower. It's not over now with the vacuum. They always have something to go through, and this time they break through, and we see Goob already trying to reposition. They know now the goal is to defend, is to not let Sunflower get any more points, because things go very wrong very quickly after that checkpoint.
Absolutely, and like you said, like I said earlier, if you get to just the checkpoint and the other team is able to get to the checkpoint and then go an inch further, you immediately lose the lead. And that sometimes is the deciding factor of games. So sometimes you want to, hey, we need to get to the checkpoint and go just a little further just to make sure that we have a decent enough lead. But hey, sometimes the other team is just good and they stop you from doing that. As we see Goob here, it's their turn to try to cover their mid in their color and try to push forward here.
And the Kraken once again making sure that Goob has control of their side of the map, but that Kraken won't be there when Goob is trying to push. And right there, the push is not going well for Goob. Sunflower able to deny, able to get the splats as Savage is trying to get rid of that blaster. That blaster is the last thing holding Goob on the map. Magnolia able to stay there, and everybody from Goob is back in attacking positions. Beautiful moves by Magnolia, surviving there means that's a push for Goob.
Absolutely, and being able to maneuver even with practically 0 ink with that little HP left, absolutely shout out to Magnolia. It was an amazing shot. And with that, Goob is able to take their checkpoint. And they might even be able to get a push here if they get the picks that they need. Oh, I thought the Slosher was going to grab it, but no, they're going for Mantle. And Bonk comes in. They picked up the Rainmaker and took the lead by, like I said, 1 point. And sometimes that's the point you need. But Goob is still set up here. No, never mind. I incorrect. Goob is being pushed back into mid, and it's Sunflower's turn to try to get a push going with 2 minutes left here on the board.
Yeah, Sunflower right there. 1 point behind. They're going to have to mount another push. They know that Goob has the lead in terms not just of points on this map, but they are leading 2-1 in the set. Sunflower needs to push if they want to stay in this Battling Pool tournament, as But Julie's come behind. Everybody gets the Splat with 1.5 minutes left in the game. Slat. It looks like Goob have a lot of purple around. And right now it looks like Goob are still pushing. They want to extend that lead. They want more points. They don't want to stop there. And Sunflower is just playing defense. We're not used to seeing Sunflower defend that way, but they're only able to stop the Rainmaker to keep themselves alive as Goob. And now we're only the Kraken. Just keeping the Rainmaker on the same side on the map. So that we're in the last minute of this game.
Absolutely, and they were able to stop that push from Goob, which is essential for the last minute, because in that last minute, they need to be able to take... So we see Magnolia sneaking from behind, which means that the vac is canceled, but it doesn't matter because Sunflower takes the lead, and it's a decent lead at that. With 30 seconds left, Goob not only has to pick up that Rainmaker and get it all the way to the other side of the map in the span of 20 seconds plus overtime, which can be punished easily by Goob if they play their cards right. Punished by Sunflower if they play their cards right. Bonk in there just absolutely trying to stop them, but is unsuccessful. All they really have to do, they picked the Rainmaker up again. They don't... Not again. I'm getting the colors confused. I apologize. Yeah. No, Goob is able to pick it up, and all they have to do is go straight forward and get the picks that they need to get far enough to win. If not, we're going to a Game 5.
Yeah, they only have 6-7 points right now. They need more than that. They need 44 if they want to win this game. They need to push in. Sunflower holding the line, and now with a bubble on top mid, they know all they need is to play the clock. And Mantle is still waiting for the right opportunity there. No way in, but 3 players down onto Sunflower. That's still not enough. Sunflower wins this game, ties up the score.
Wow. That was an amazing push, but Sunflower wanted to bring it to a Game 5 and said, no, you cannot take the lead. And did an amazing job at shutting down last second push. Hey, and I'm with you. Pay up. I've seen what's happening in chat. But Pat did what you said. Pay up. But that aside, we are going to a Game 5, and we're not even in Grands yet, Pat. Both of these guys really won in Grand, and we're going to Barnacle and Dime zones.
Yep. I'm being informed. Like, so much happened. It seems like the sprinkler is what got the final splat on the Rainmaker. That's how much panic happened at the end of the game. The sprinkler got the kill. But yeah, as you say, we're going to the final game. It's going to be Barnacle and Dime on Splat Zone. Very much a classic map mode to end it all. And yeah, I mean, all's on the line now. And Sunflower and Goob, they have one last shot, one last game in order to make it to Grands.
Gosh, I have never seen two teams fight so desperately for Grands before. That's not true. I've seen, like tournaments before, but like this? No. The plays that are being made, there are some, in my opinion, desperate plays being made, but it doesn't matter because they are absolutely being rewarded because they're working.
Yeah. For
Oh,
sure.
apparently we need to calm down. We've got calmer music playing. I see.
We don't need to calm down. It's Game 5!
Exactly!
The lower bracket finals are battling for. And these two teams are on fire. These two teams are answering blow for blow, keeping it close every step of the way. I mean, there's still more to do. There's still more to play. Let's get right in the tiebreaker of this game. And yeah, I mean, we know these two teams, we know what weapons they're running, and it's time to get right in the game. Will Sunflower get their monster opening? Will Goob hold on the line?
I can't wait to find out. With the zone is very swiftly, it's being painted by both teams, not switching to either color for the first 20 seconds as Sunflower is able to take control. And ooh, this the Bloblobber takes this moment to get a Kraken out, which is giving them an opportunity to take the zone, which Sunflower's only able to get 11 ticks in, which isn't the worst, but doesn't matter as they take it back to get a couple more ticks. Was Bonk able to take that back by themselves?
Never underestimate Bonk, but never underestimate anybody on this map right there. Magnolia with a huge splashdown is pushing everybody from Sunflower out as Goob have gotten good control, but the strikes and Bonk behind everybody, that's the answer by Sunflower. Everybody knows where to be exactly. These two platforms surrounding the zones are what decides the pace of the game, and that's big moves right there. Sunflower are on top of the zone, are pushing in, and this is where they are at their most dangerous.
Absolutely, we see the Bloblobber's Kraken come back out as we want to take the zone back. We're going for picks. We see the pencil go down, but so the Bloblobber doesn't get punished for that. We immediately back up because the roller was right there. They are 2 down, but still have control of the zone. As I say, that Goob takes that opportunity to take it. We see Bonk going forward to the alley, trying their best to just get pick after pick. Bonk is going for Magnolia there. It isn't enough because the Flatullies come in and immediately pinch her. They're not giving Sunflower a chance to move forward.
Yeah, Goob able to really answer, push back in with no penalty. They have everything in blue, and they're holding incredibly strongly. The blob, it's where it's at the strongest. I mean, you can't run at a blob while it's slushing at you. And right now, Goob is going to take the lead. Sunflower don't have that much time left to push. You know how slow it is to push on this map. The vacuum is on, the strikes are on the zone. Every special has been thrown by Sunflower. And with 3 players down, Sunflower are able to get full control of the map.
That double ink fight back in the back was crazy. We had a great view of that double there. And with that, it gave them like you said, the perfect opportunity to push forward and make the mid their color. And we see them dualies here trying their best to Sharks, find a way to sneak in. But no, the crab comes out. It's crab time. We go for the sprinkler, realize it's not a person. We end up trying to go for the person over that ledge. And unfortunately, the crab only displaces, but doesn't get any picks, as Sunflower is about to take the lead.
Yep. They got that lead, but Goob is still on the zone, fighting for that zone. Goob didn't try penalty, and the strikes are coming. Sunflower keeps control of the zone. That is huge. That could be the game right there. Goob needs to fight. Goob needs to paint. They don't have much time. They're away from the zone. They're so far, but they're able to get the duelist. What the time? It's not over.
It's never over with these two teams, Pat. 1 tick left? No. You mean 61. Because we got a minute left. The game isn't over yet. This isn't overtime. We gotta keep going. It's Sunflower's turn to have the paint on the map. They kept it going. They got knocked out for just a second, but it's okay. They have the zone back. We see the crab come out, trying the best to cap that zone. So does the cooler. This is the time to push in, Goob, and get the picks you need to take the zone back. The splash down comes out, takes the zone back, and we still only have a minute left.
Yeah, that 1 minute is a lot of time. It's an eternity if you want to come back. SK9 still fighting. Last player from the team able to get lots of splats. We're going to have a neutral around the zone, but the zone is still yellow. The zone is still ticking in favor of Sunflower right now. And with 2 players down, on to Goob. Goob needs a miracle right now. Sunflower is simply painting around, making sure nobody can move in.
Yeah, and with 30 seconds left, it doesn't matter because they knock out. Sunflower is gonna win our Game 5 loser brackets finals, and they're going back up to fight against WoW. And I cannot wait to see it, Pat. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Goob went up 2-1 against Sunflower, but then Sunflower remembered who they are, remembered what they can do, and got their huge comeback. 3-2. They are now going to grand finals.
This is getting intense, and I'm loving it. Gosh, Pat, I love the adrenaline that is pumping through me when I see such amazing plays like that. That last second switch on Goob, and it wasn't even enough. They still
Hello?
yeah, sorry. Sunflower still knocked them out.
Yeah. And that's what happens. We're gonna take a short break, set up the lobby to watch Sunflower versus WoW, and we'll be right back. And we're back. It is now time for the grand finals. And despite all that could have happened, we were very close to it not happening. But we have our seed number 1 WoW going as seed number 2 Sunflower to decide it all. We're going to start with Clablitz on Museum down from Sinnoh. We've seen that map before. I guess we're going to see more of it, lad.
In fact, wasn't that our first game of the day? WoW versus Sunflower. And WoW beat Sunflower on it.
No. We haven't seen Sunflower play this yet.
No, you're right. It was WoW versus Goob. That's my bad. And WoW won against Goob. So what we need to see is Sunflower avenge Goob and win this first game on Museum.
Well, they need to do that and more, because remember, Sunflower lost winners finals. They need to win 2 sets if they want to be your paddling pool champions. Meanwhile, all they need to do is win once.
And I will say, I've never done a bracket reset before, so I'm excited to see what happens. Let's get right into it, Pat.
Yeah, and that's... I mean, we know the comps. We know what's happening, and Dylan is bringing the decav, but we know the comps. We know what to expect between these 2 teams. And of course, we know how fast you want to go on Clamblitz, as WoW is already opening pretty strong. Dylan was to the side with the Decapitator trying to get something going, but it looks like it's Sunflower that's going to be the most solid team in control of top mid, which means they get the early Super Clam and they get the early opportunity for a push.
Yeah, but it's, hey, Dylan jumping down, getting 1 pick. Oh, not quite getting 2. Almost jumps out, but not quite. That push was stopped by a well-placed bubble. But it didn't really stop them too much. Kind of just slowed them down a little bit there.
Yeah, and right now the vacuum is slowing things down from Rusty, enabling really a lot of actions from Sunflower. Sunflower now pushing forward, trying to get in the right positions, as he is defending well, and we see 2 down, 3 down on Sunflower. Rusty is going to super jump back to spawn. That is really cleaning up the whole map. They have a super clan, they have the vacuum, but there's nobody to grab the clan. The clan is a bit too late, and now we're at the end of that vacuum. WoW just missed an opportunity to open the basket there.
Absolutely, and I must say that Decav is letting the enemy team know to brush their teeth with the amount of picks they are getting on, Sunflower, and it is kind of working in their favor. Not quite, as Sunflower is able to take this opportunity and take back control of mid, which unfortunately means WoW is going to lose that power clam, but it's okay. We're only 2 minutes in. We got the whole rest of the game to get some more clams.
Right there, WoW fighting for their lives as the Sunflower is pushing stronger than ever. They are on the platform. It's their turn to have the super clan and have the opportunity for what the opponent's activating the vacuum. Sunflower activates the vacuum second, but Dylan is coming in. But the Decapitator is the perfect weapon to hunt a vac. And WoW just got back control of the base right there. Everybody's got a super clan, and we're now waiting for people to find their way to the basket.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's just whoever can get to that basket first. We got Enamel jumping back. Don't want to get picked. But hey, WoW is 2 down. This might be the opportunity to push in before they get back in. Oh, maybe not, because I see that cooler there. Maybe they were able to get back in quickly enough because of that cooler. And then all of a sudden, now Sunflower is on the back foot with 2 down.
Yeah, the vacuum is deployed, but the splashdown doesn't get the splats on the back. That's big, but the blaster is still dancing around, getting a lot of attention. WoW has the way forward. They will open the score. It took the time, but with 2 minutes left, it looks like it finally points for WoW.
And they're not stopping at 1 ball here, Pat. They said, let's get a couple clams in too while we're at it. But I think that might be it for the push, unless Dylan can get in quick enough, which not quite. They almost got there, as you can see, but wasn't able to. But that's fine. They got a decent push for how far we're into the game, and all they have to do is just play heavy defense or get another clam in.
Yeah, right there. The WoW is still on the platform and being able to maintain their presence here means Sunflower is stuck trying to clean up under their own doorstep before they can do anything. And wow, happy to reopen the basket. They didn't put that many clams in the first push, but now they have much more to do, as Dylan has 5 clams and just nicked their way right under everybody's nose. He's going to keep the basket open just a tiny bit longer. Sunflower is struggling right now.
Absolutely. And with a minute left, they really got... Hey, they have the clams they need to get a push going. And like as we see, they just got that cooler out. So now's the time to go crazy. But if they go down, the push is dead. We have 2 specials up that can happen. We've got Bonk's Bubble and we've got the Vac. This is the perfect time to push. We see Bonk pop their bubble to defend. But it doesn't matter. We see 2-3 sneaking in. Rusty jumps down, immediately gets punished for doing so. But it doesn't matter because Sunflower is still up, trying to inch closer and closer to the base. We see them go, but is getting stopped. Can't quite. Oh no! Oh, my perspective was off. I thought they were in the enemy's base. That's my bad.
More work to do right there, and the fight is happening left and right all across the map. But Sunflower, with just a few seconds left, are cornered. They still have a super clam, which means they'll have the 15 seconds of overtime, but it's not looking good. WoW has so much control.
So much control, so much pressure on Sunflower. Like, we see them desperately trying to get in, but immediately we have 3 guns pointed at them. There's not much you can do when they're... We see Dylan running in circles on him!
I mean, when you can count and you know there's only 3 seconds and nobody has a super clam, you know it's over. You can just dance.
You just gotta dance sometimes, Pat. And what an amazing play from WoW. Just wow. I know we've made that joke before and it's probably getting old, but wow.
Yep, that's game number 1 in favor of WoW, who are inching their way towards the paddling pool crown. Sunflower now needs something big. They need to fight harder. They need to play stronger. And we're going on to a map where we know WoW is incredibly strong and where Sunflower has been struggling, honestly.
But like you said, it'll be good for WoW because they also just showed how strong they are. There's a reason they're our first seed.
Oh yeah.
But also they're not invincible, as you could see from earlier games. Like, wait, have they dropped a game?
WoW has dropped a game, and Sunflower took a game off of WoW in upper bracket.
That's what I was thinking. So they're not untouchable.
Oh yeah.
We still have 4 games, and just because they dominated in Clan Blitz, which WoW proved, Clan Blitz Museum is one of their strong maps. Let's see what happens here on Tower Control Undertow.
Yep, Tower Control Undertow Spillway, of course, all eyes on the ledge weapons, be it the rollers or the blasters. These ledge controlled weapons are usually what decides the pace of the game. Right there, if you're joining us, this is game 2 of a grand finals of Paddling Pool. WoW on the upper side is up 1-0 already, and they're getting a few splats, but Bonk with the roller, the demon roller, is there to answer, is there to push forward and fight off.
Absolutely. I was going to say, where is everyone? There's no one in mid, and it's because WoW pushed forward and then immediately got punished for it, but it doesn't matter because they got some picks, so they were able to get to and past the first checkpoint here, and are inching their way to the second, which we've talked before is one of the hardest to get past. Let's see if Sunflower can punish that.
Right now, the tower keeps moving forward. WoW is not wasting a second. The fights are still going, but the tower is simply moving in. They keep a player on as Dylan with the decapitator is not able to find the splats though. Tower won't get to the third checkpoint. Beautiful answer by Sunflower.
Absolutely, but like we said earlier, that second checkpoint is so strong to keep a hold of, and Sunflower was unable to do so. So if they really need to put in the work. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, so there's plenty of time, but also like that's 2 checkpoints ahead already in that short amount of time.
Right now, Sunflower got the tower back in mid, but now they need to push forward. And with 3 splats, they've got their opportunity. They've got the perfect opportunity to move forward. And remember, especially in tower control, this is the mode for momentum. This is the mode for comebacks as you get more and more special as you keep the tower. But Dylan has something to say about that. That Decapitator is always able to punish everybody.
Absolutely. Dylan is going absolutely insane on this decap. We see Bocce with the vac trying to push forward. Hey, but we see a vac on Sunflower's side. We get the trade with the vac, which is not the worst, but WoW does go 3 down because of that, giving Sunflower a chance to push forward again.
Yeah, Sunflower has their opportunity. They know they don't need much points beyond the second checkpoint. As long as they're able to break that second checkpoint, they'll have the opportunity to get back in the game. And with 2 players down on WoW, they could very much do it. Right now, Sunflower are going to get the lead and get to the 3rd checkpoint even.
Which is insane to see, because didn't you say earlier that Sunflower is struggling on this map?
Yeah. Yeah, they have been struggling. We've seen them struggle, but right now it doesn't look like they're in any danger at all. They are at the 3rd checkpoint, and they have a good lead with only 2 minutes left in the game.
Absolutely. And like we said earlier, that's a lot of time, and Sunflower just with a delayed wipe there, which is going to give WoW the perfect opportunity to make the mid pink again. And honestly, this is the push that WoW needs, as long as they can keep the picks that they need. We see that the Slosher does have strikes. They're probably saving it for a good moment like right now, getting them to get off the tower and being patient and throwing them at slow intervals to keep them off the tower as long as possible. But we see Dylan hop back on with that big bubbler just to try to inch closer to that checkpoint, because WoW is not out of this yet.
We are very close right now. Both teams are tied, but the absolute shredding of Bonk, saving the lead. We were tied up, but it's certainly not over. Roller with the blaster is still on the tower. The lead is taken, and the splashdown will shred still. Bonk is not able to keep WoW away. We're entering the last minute, and WoW is back in the lead. Sunflower needs another push.
It's a battle of the final checkpoint, Pat. Whoever can get furthest in the checkpoint is gonna win it. We got 40 seconds left, and at this point, it's Sunflower's turn to try to inch a little bit past. They only need 8 ticks to get past where WoW is to keep this game at an even... I don't know what word to say there. Split?
Right now, yeah, as you said, the pressure is on Sunflower, but Sunflower is losing too many players. WoW are cleaning up, and with just less than 20 seconds in the game, it's WoW that's pushing. They know having the tower gives them momentum, gives them special. Bonk is behind everybody, getting a few good splats and punishing. That was a triple bad Bonk. That could be the opportunity, a wipeout for Sunflower. We are going to overtime, and all the pressure is now on WoW. If they want to deny Sunflower, they need to do it now.
Absolutely, and the Slosher has the strikes ready, so they can either use it to push forward and defend tower, which it looks like they're doing both, which is honestly a really good play. But as they get knocked off the tower, it's slowing down. They get wiped, and WoW takes it back in the last second, taking our grand finals to a 2-0.
Sunflower fighting hard, fighting well, but just a tiny bit behind. That is 2-0 for WoW. Remember, WoW is on the winner's side. WoW only needs one more game, and they will be your paddling pool champion. Sunflower now. I mean, as you said at the start of this set, it's possible, but it's looking more and more impossible by the second.
I absolutely have to agree with that. Like, Sunflower did a really good job that second game on showing, like, hey, we're not out of this yet. And I do want to point out, like, and the reason I did forget, and I apologize, is there's been so many good games that it's hard to keep track of everything that's been happening. So the fact that they were struggling, but they didn't win, they did still technically struggle here, but they did better. They improved. These were so close to taking that. And hey, there's still a chance to reverse it here. We've got 3 more maps, and up next we've got Splat Zones Haggle. Pat, what can Sunflower do here to turn things in their favor?
Right there, I don't know. At this point in the game, WoW is just faster. WoW is just more efficient. WoW is just able to get that extra push, that extra point that gives them a little bit more. And Sunflower, they need more. Being close is not enough. You still lose the game if you're close to your opponent. And Sunflower needs to break through, needs to change something big if they want to put WoW off balance. And we'll see if they're able to do that. Right now, we're getting back in the game. We're going to one of the most classic map modes of all of Splatoon 3. Remember, this could be our last game of the tournament. All the pressure is on Sunflower.
Let's see if they crack or if they shine. With that, we see WoW immediately doing, as you said, they're just faster at the moment, and they immediately are about to take zone here within the first 20 seconds and immediately push forward into their base.
That's the opening they like, and now with the vacuum, they're really allowing themselves to get in their opponent's spawn, and now the bubbler to make sure that they stay their beautiful chaining of specials. WoW simply takes control of the opponent's spawn, and Sunflower are just fighting just to stay alive, just to hide in a corner. Halfway, 50 points already. WoW is in full control of the whole map, and Sunflower needs a miracle.
They can't get out, Pat. The blaster, as I say that, the blaster gets immediately taken out. Smooch is done with the way that blaster was treating them in Plat. The decav comes out of nowhere, and they get the trade, but WoW is able to keep the zone. Picks are happening left and right, and Sunflower takes control of the zone.
That control, that save by Sunflower is so important. Now they're able not just to get the zone, WoW try to hold it all. WoW try to use all of their resources just to make sure Sunflower couldn't get in. They don't get the KO yet, and now Sunflower gets control over a lot of the map. This is where Sunflower is the most effective, because as you said earlier, once you have the paint, the roller becomes very powerful. I mean, the roller just got splatted because WoW is so powerful as well. And WoW, without even waiting much, they're already back in control of the zone.
Speaking of Bonk, here comes Bonk. Bonk is coming back in. They're not a fan of what happened. They had to back up a little bit so they didn't get taken out by that blaster. Unfortunately is unsuccessful. Still an amazing push for Sunflower though, and the game's we're not out of the woods yet. There's still 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, and WoW is still in penalty. They're not fully pushed forward yet. This is the chance they need. The Slosher has strikes. They can use these to push back in as long as they're patient. Let's not be rash here, Sunflower. This is it. This is where it's time to take it back.
Yeah, and WoW right now with no penalty are holding as much as they can. The strikes going onto the zone are enough to stop things, and the vacuum. Wait, the vacuum didn't work.
The vacuum didn't work because they had a vacuum too.
Holding, but not holding enough. Sunflower is still in this tournament.
What the heck is happening, Pat? There's just so much happening. I blinked and I missed it. The vac painted the zone, but WoW immediately countered it with their own vac, keeping it in their color. But then Sunflower still took the zone back.
Yep, it never stops. It never stops, and Sunflower are keeping themselves alive. Now they're able to get a few more splats, and ending that Decapitator's reign of terror right there will allow them to breathe a little bit, wait for our opponent to come back in. As I mean, we keep seeing more and more vacuums. That vacuum and the splashdowns will cap once again, which means WoW keep the advantage right now. They're still on the lead, but they just lost a lot of players.
And they did, I believe they lost the zone to get a little bit more penalty, which is fine. There's still 1:15 left, and they're doing a decent job at holding the enemy back at the moment. Right now is what they need is specials. We see Bachi with the vac coming in, able to punish not only Bonk, but get Rusty to jump out. and give WoW the opportunity. As Sunflower gets 2 ticks in, they have a chance to retake the zone and give them more penalty with a minute left here.
WoW setting themselves on the zone. They're not really trying to hold it as much as deny it from their opponent right now. But they lost their 2 most frontliners players, and Sunflower is pushing back once again with another vacuum, of course. As right now, WoW needs to hold, needs to maintain some presence. 30 seconds left in this game, and Sunflower, they're able to play, they're still able to stay in there, and they're able to get 3 splats, which means their penalty is about to be done. They're going to score both points. They still have a chance to get back.
It's kind of funny, Pat. This is the 2nd or 3rd time Bonk has flanked, and it worked. No one is stopping the Bonk. And hey, I wonder why they call him that. We're at 10, 11, we're counting down, there's 1 second left. All they need to do is hold this zone. Sunflower just needs to hold it and get the knockout, and they do it, Pat! They freaking take it! 2-1, hey, we're not done yet! Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, that's so crazy!
Oh, let's go! KO, this grand finals is not over. Sunflower able to survive this game and push through. What an incredible comeback by Sunflower. And after this, like, it really feels like Sunflower figured things out. We're able to stay on top of things. We're able to deny the flanks from WoW. We're able to really establish themselves and hold the ground that they wanted to hold. This is Sunflower finding the game plan and executing it.
Absolutely. And hey, sometimes you just need to warm up. You ever feel like, oh, it's been a while since we fought this team. We got to figure out what we're doing. Can I just say, I think they're starting to figure it out. That was an amazing, nail biter, as I saw in chat. Nail biter. I was on the edge of my seat, Pat. I am jumping literally every 5 seconds. This is insane.
Yep, it is never over. There's still more games to play, and we are going to Rainmaker on Scourge Gorge, another map that we've seen a bunch when we've seen both of these teams shine and do incredibly well. So for sure, there's going to be action, there's going to be fights, and we'll see if Sunflower can keep the comebacks coming. But they still have to pay attention because WoW are certainly not done.
Absolutely, WoW wants this crown. They've been the monarchs of this entire tournament. Do you think they're just gonna let Sunflower take it? I don't know. Let's start here. Ooh, the Luna Blaster's back.
Yep. Luna Blaster gives the hammer. The hammer can protect the Rainmaker a bit further. That's a great option if you want to protect your Rainmaker. Give a good push. That's the... I mean, hammer is the weapon that can make or break a push. And in Rainmaker, where you only need 1 single push, that's honestly a very good option.
Absolutely. We see Paul come in but get punished because the back is on Roller. Roller also ends up going down. We're seeing picks left and right. Like we've been seeing all day, we're at the point where we're trading, and that's okay. We see WoW pick up the Rainmaker. We're heading. They got the decav with the bubble, so they cannot get punished at the checkpoint, which is gonna give them an opportunity to get a little bit past the checkpoint here, Pat.
Yeah, they're pushing in the Roller, the hammer to protect the Rainmaker a little bit, going to 52. That's a nice opening push, but we're only in the first minute, and 52 is certainly not safe on this map mode for sure. Sunflower has a lot of opportunities to move back forward, and they have a vacuum of their own that will allow them to push forward.
Absolutely, and that vac goes out. Do we get a pick? We do! An amazing splat on CJ with, hey, Sunflower told us they're not out of it yet. It's their turn, Pat. It's their turn.
And they have broken through the checkpoint. They have a lot of yellow around that will give them the repop. Now the big question is, can they beat 52? They have splatted 3 players! That's a wipeout!
Yes, what the heck?
Power moving in!
Let's go!
They're gonna get... Can they get KO?
Are they gonna get the knockout? Let's go!
Sunflower ties up the score in fashion.
Sunflower, where was this energy earlier? Come on, let's go! Oh, wow! Game 5 Grand Finals.
This is what decides the game in Splatoon. Can you adapt to your opponent? Sunflower, it feels like between the
answer is
half
yes.
of the second half of the last game and this game, they learned. And now they are in WoW's head. They know what to do. They know how to counter. They know how to push, and it's working. Now all the pressure is on WoW. WoW doesn't want to see a bracket reset. WoW wants to end it here. But if they want to end it here, they have to play perfectly, because this is not the same Sunflower they put in lower bracket. This is not the same Sunflower they took 2 games off at the start of this set. This is the Sunflower that knows how to fight them. And WoW, it's their turn to adapt now.
Sunflower got knocked down, but they said, we get up again. Honestly, WoW's sending them to losers. Not to compare it to an anime. Hey, they lost and they had to power up before fighting the big boss again. And now they're showing the work that they've put in, crawling their way back out of lower bracket. And as we're heading to a Game 5 on Clam's Umami, which, not as many ledges as the other maps we've been seeing, but I could see the roller and the blaster still being useful here. What are you thinking, Pat?
This map mode is about speed and coordination, first and foremost, because quite often, if a team starts having an advantage over mid, the other team needs to move back and protect their basket, because it's so easy to go from mid to the basket. If you don't want to be scored on, you have to protect the basket. You have to be there. So quite often, you'll see teams just move from one basket to the other, make sure that one basket is secure while the other team is trying to push, and then back to another basket. Which means you'll constantly have pressure. You'll constantly have one team threatening to score, and the other team just trying to hold, trying to deny. And now it's time. Game 5 of Grand Finals. If WoW wins this one, they are your paddling pool champion. If Sunflower wins this one, we're back to 0-0 as the bracket resets. Let's get right in the game.
We got the blaster switched back to our C blaster for that triple splashdown. Not surprising, as Luna, they kind of need their range back. I feel like, honestly, that Luna, like, they kind of lost their range and we're getting punished for it. So to go back to the C blaster, probably the right play here. We see Dylan on the right, immediately trying to go forward, but a vac comes out to stop him. Dylan's like, oh no, I gotta get out of here. Oh, we got a vac battle about to happen. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it looks like Sunflower are riding the momentum that they have. They're already the team that is pushing towards the basket, and Rusty on top of the dome right there. He's getting a lot of attention. The rest of Sunflower was able to grab a lot of clams. They're not able to push, but WoW has to look over their shoulder right now, because, I mean, that's a lot of clams on the side of Sunflower.
Absolutely, and like you said, that momentum for Sunflower, they're riding this high. They absolutely have to keep going. Oh no, but they immediately go 3 down, which is giving WoW the opportunity to come in and break the barrier with only a minute in. Sunflower needs to make sure they keep up their pace. They got to keep up that energy. They had it in the beginning, but WoW was able to take advantage of that situation.
The answer by WoW, putting 2 super clams in the basket, and they're still present right there. The vacuum really allowed them to stay there a tiny bit longer. 54 is nice for a first push, but now Sunflower is answering, and look at how fast Sunflower is answering. Dylan able to deny 1 super clam. That means Sunflower is kind of slowed down in their ability to go in, but they're still able to open the basket. But they only get 20.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes, you know, usually it is bad to only get 20, but right now, where they're at, you take any points you can get, Pat. We need to inch down slowly. Sunflower has the ball. Both teams have a power clam. They just need re-control of mid and the picks that they need. The Slaughter had a special, but does unfortunately go down, making them 2 down, which is giving WoW a chance for a second push, which yes, Sunflower does have to jump out so they don't go down. They don't want to get swept here. That would not be good for them.
Yeah, and 30 points left. WoW are on fire right now, but once again, each time they push, WoW lose a lot of players, lose a lot of control. If Sunflower can use that to their advantage, they could score much more than 20 points on Annabelle with a huge snipe right there. That is so important. That gives them the range, that gives them the advantage. And with 2 players down, Sunflower has the straight way onto the basket. They're not able to go in. They get punished as they try to dive forward. And they don't even get to the basket. 2 minutes left. And Sunflower is back to spawn with 0 clams.
Sunflower is starting to stagger like we saw during our first 2 games, which is not good for them. We don't want them to lose heart here. As another ball is taken, we can take this. Yep, they pick up the pity, and they immediately throw it to Rusty, which is good. Hey, we have a chance to get another power clam. But hey, we got clams still going in, and we're going down at a fast rate here. They only need 3 more clams to win, Pat.
Yeah, but they lost all of their clams, all of their players. It is not over. WoW has a huge lead, but we know Sunflower doesn't mind a huge lead. They need to give it back once again. They need another comeback if they want to stay in the tournament. And with 2 players down and a vacuum, Sunflower is opening the basket, is getting all of the clams. They have a present. They have a wipeout. They need to go back for the clams. They need to go back.
Oh, clams! Go! Get your pity! Get your pity! Pity! Get back the pity!
The super jumping in with more clams. 1 more clam. And they got the lead. Last minute of the game. The pity is jumping. We got a bracket reset. Sunflower does not care and resets that bracket.
Holy mackerel, that was amazing! What did I mean? Like you said, they do not care about that high of a lead, Pat. They hop in and they show them who's boss. Congratulations on Sunflower for activating a bracket reset. I need to take a breather.
Incredible. Sunflower looked dead several times during these last 3 games. But it did not matter in the end. They still win. They still get their way back in the game. And now we're back to 0-0. Now we're back to even between these 2 teams. But even doesn't tell the whole story. Now it feels like Sunflower is in WoW's head. And WoW can't second guess themselves anymore.
I gotta say, they're living rent-free, and we're going back to Haggle where they got their first win, baby! Let's go! We're starting on Haggle, and then we're going to Tower and then, oh my gosh, then we're going to Tower on Undertow Tower, and then we're going back to Clams Museum. Yeah. This is perfect!
1 game at a time. But remember...
You're right, sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Whatever the map, whatever the mode, we've seen WoW be in the lead. We've seen WoW force Sunflower to bring everything they have to come back. On Hagglefish Market, WoW was 1 point away from the KO, and Sunflower had to bring it back. So this is the map where Sunflower won, but this is still a good map for WoW. This is a map where I bet both of these teams want to play again to settle the score once and for all of who is the king of Hagglefish.
Absolutely, and I'd love to see who takes the crown here, because like we said, that was a nail biter of a game. They knocked out literally in the last second possible. So like you said, like this could still be WoW's map. They could still win. They want to take it back here.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Lots on the line, and I mean, these 2 teams have shown us incredible games, have shown us so many different plays and counter plays and punishes and attacks. And now it's the final chance. It's the final sprint towards victory. The first team to get a 3 at the top of the screen will be your champions. And I mean, I did not believe Sunflower could get that reset. I'm going to be honest. I really thought WoW had it. And I thought WoW had it several times. But Sunflower are showing us survival. They survived in low brackets. They were down 2-1, and they survived in grand finals. They were down 2-0, but they're still here, and now it's 0-0. And Sunflower, all they need to do is win 3 more games.
That's it. And if I could be on, I need to be vulnerable too, Pat. I also didn't know that Sunflower had it in them, but they really showed us. And they showed us not only like they showed us. They came back with a vengeance. And I'm so excited to see this bracket reset.
Yeah. I mean, right now I think our players are using the reset time to breathe a little bit. One player had to go for a minute apparently. But like everybody is kind of catching their breath, saying nobody is sure what to do. But let's get in the game. No, not yet. But let's get prepared for the game. Hagglefish, I want to see it. I want to see it happen.
Me too. Can I be honest? At this point, whoever wins, they've all put in the work. So I just want to see who takes the crown at this point. Like, I've enjoyed this, like, today so much, and it just keeps getting better. Like you said, we're on, it just keeps on going.
Never stops.
It never stops. That's what you were saying. It never stops. Yes.
I mean, we thought it was over, but we've thought several times it was over. Wow, and Sunflower still have more to show us, and they're savoring the moment. They're using the time to breathe, to talk strategy, to do whatever they can as we get to see more games. I mean, we don't complain that we get to see more games for sure.
Absolutely, and may I say, water wrong too. My bad. Got a little excited. The amount, like I was saying earlier, the amount of risky plays that are happening in order to keep, to clutch out these wins is insane. Like, I'm excited to see where all these teams go. Like, all these players are phenomenal. Like, shout out Bonk, the amazing roller. Dylan on that decav has also been pretty insane.
A lot of these games have been decided by whether these two players could allow them to go behind everybody, or whether they would be found and splatted before they could get all the damage done. So, like, we'll see who is able to get the surprise. One thing for sure, these two teams, they know what to expect. They know they need to pay attention to their side behind themselves. So let's get back in the game. It is time. And it is time. Game 1 of the bracket reset. And it looks like there's a change on the side of WoW. They are switching to the mini splatling.
What was Bashi playing before?
96 go.
Yeah, okay, I see the change.
Yeah, instead of a vacuum, they have a hammer. That hammer will be able to snipe people very quickly and give them quick splats. That can be quite useful. And right now, WoW is opening very strongly. Another thing the mini is good at is denying someone from running at them.
Absolutely. And like you said, they have a strong start. But Bonk, here comes Bonk with that bubble and roller. We're coming in on the side, but I don't know. They might have seen that drop. They might be able to punish it. Bonk doesn't care. Bonk hops back in that vac to get one pick. Can we get a second? The blaster comes up. We get the blaster pick, but gets traded. Both teams are 2 down, Pat.
Yeah, both teams are 2 down, but look who's in control of the zone. Rusty to the side with a 96 needs to feint. That zone is able to get the wipeout. The clock is ticking, but Sunflower has control of the map. Great attention to map control right there. WoW just got a lot of points, but now they need to push.
Absolutely, Pat. And as long as they don't stagger, this is the time. Bonk with a good bubble placement there, so they couldn't really get forward. Instead of placing it on the zone, you want to place it like right in front. So like, hey, that you can't get the paint over where you need. We see the blaster go in and splash down, taking half the zone, but only half of it. Not that it matters. We've got the pencil with WoW repainting over it to put Sunflower in a penalty. They've made a decent amount of points, though, with 3 minutes, 15 seconds left on the board here.
Yeah, and Sunflower right there, painting the zone, holding the zone, but they're surrounded. Bocce's to the side with the minis, forcing everybody to pay attention to the side, which means the rest of WoW is there to apply some paint, and we take more control right now. We see another neutral as both teams is trying to flank and get to the side, force everybody to move back. Looks like Sunflower is losing a lot of players, but Rusty with the 96 is able to survive and simply hold themselves still on the map. Having a player still alive is so important. They will super jump back and regroup with the team. Looks like WoW is back in control.
It's funny that Roller like kind of knew Bonk was still there, and Bonk was like, nope, I'm getting out of here. We see Smooch with the strikes to retake the zone. Ooh, but the blaster comes up trying to counter, and it's not enough. We got cooler for Sunflower. It's time for orange. It's time for orange soda and push, but it's not enough as WoW jumps in, and here comes the hammer. We get one. Oh, we get a trade with both teams going 2 down once again here. Smooch with the bucket gets one, not one, but 2 picks, and we're going for a third. We get a third, Pat.
Beautiful splat by Samij right there as Sunflower takes control of the zone. They don't have that much penalty slat, which means they're likely to score more points. WoW doesn't have that much time to get back forward. Bocce with the hammer is going to destroy that bucket and get an extra splat on the 96 as well. Beautiful move by Bocce. That is control over the map. Bonk is completely isolated. And right there, there's a lot of blue around. WoW wants their control back. They want their lead back. And they are riding that zone. And they don't have much penalty left.
Absolutely, and I want to point out real quick, the unfortunate fact is, like, everyone had to back away from the zone, and if they stayed and fought, they would have actually held the zone a little longer versus losing it when they backed up there. But it doesn't matter. WoW with 5 seconds left. We see the strikes come out to try to take it last second. And are they able to? And of course they're able to. They do it every time, Pat.
Incredible painting right there with just a bucket to take, but that was enough. Wow. I mean, they've seen this before. They've played this game before. They are 1 point away, but the Sunflower still won't die. Sunflower still fighting, and with just 30 seconds left, Sunflower are pushing their way back forward with a vacuum. Can the hammer deny things? Can the hammer get the splat? Everyone is dying left and right. But it looks like it's WoW that's on top right now.
And that's perfectly fine because Sunflower is not giving up yet. They just needed to back up for just a second. Yes, 20 seconds left on the board, but all they really need to do is get rid of that bubble. Those strikes that give them a chance to push forward. They just need to take the zone back and start eating through that penalty. Here they have it. 5 seconds and then into overtime. We've got the blaster trying to shark, which is honestly really good. Bonk's bubble comes out. Really great timing. We got 10 points of penalty, Pat. Let's see what happens here in overtime.
Oh, the hammer doesn't work! And there's 2 minutes on WoW! Sunflower is winning this fight! Sunflower is not stopping right now. WoW still has the time for another push, but they don't have much time. They need to go in. The vacuum is there to completely deny. All of WoW is waiting for the opportunity. The hammer is going forward. Can it get the splat? It's able to get one. It's able to paint a little bit. Can they get the zone? The zone is neutral right now. And Sunflower needs to paint. WoW trying to stop history from repeating itself. Can they paint that zone? Can they paint that zone? Yeah. The zone stays neutral, and WoW takes the victory. Sunflower doesn't repeat overtime K. Oh, that's so close.
Pat, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah.
And it's the amount of adrenaline that every time, I don't know if you've noticed, like I get really hyped and then you can tell when I've calmed down again. The moment I start calming down, some sick freaking plays happen to where we see them. Hey, Sunflower didn't take it, and that is okay. They are in WoW's head. They live rent-free. They have an apartment in there. They have a lazy boy, and they're sitting there.
Yep, I mean, Sunflower can. We know Sunflower can come back, but right there they were not able to. And it's WoW that has the first point. That first point counts for a lot. I mean, there aren't that many points left to get, and WoW already got one. Sunflower, though, they've given us a few miracles already. I'm sure they have more somewhere in their pockets to give us.
Absolutely. And I am just, oh my gosh, I've said it earlier, but I've been commentating a lot more, and I love that. I love doing it every single time, Pat. It gets better and better every time I commentate. I love this game.
Yep, and right now we are back into the game. And it looks like WoW are happy with their mini move. So they're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep playing that mini with Hammer, and we'll see if Sunflower learns a little bit more, fights that mini a bit better. And for now, both our teams are trying to get the upper hand. Of course, on here, you need to get several splats before you can move forward.
And honestly, now the mini switch makes sense. Sunflower played so many games against WoW that the fact that they learned the way they were playing. So even that one weapon switch can make the difference, as you see Dylan immediately take 2 down. We've got Bonk waiting patiently, as they do. We wait, we watch, and then we strike. Oh, well, almost. Hey, sometimes we have to wait a little bit. You gotta be patient, we gotta be safe. They're at the second checkpoint. What happens next here, Pat?
Yeah, well, what happens now is a lot of specials have been used, and it looks like WoW are holding themselves onto that tower, onto that checkpoint, but they're not able to break the checkpoint yet. They are still fighting for it, but she gets splatted before they can really secure the presence. The checkpoint is broken, but I believe Sunflower will be able to retake control of their side of the map. That vacuum really makes sure that everybody from WoW is forced to move away.
Absolutely, and hey, that's kind of what you need to do at this point, with not only the first, but the second checkpoint broken. That really important one that we mentioned earlier, that now that WoW is past it, it might be hard for Sunflower to stop them. We've got CJ riding the tower. We've got not only Dylan, but the Blaster putting a bubble, but the strikes come out trying to stop the push. It helps for just a second, but for how long?
Oh, and it's another bubble and another hammer right now. WoW are past checkpoint number 3. There's nobody from Sunflower, and WoW are back to their shenanigans. They're back to domination. This is the WoW that we expected to see, and it looks like they figured out how to fight Sunflower once again.
Absolutely. You know how we said Sunflower took time to adapt to WoW? Well, in that time, WoW has adapted to Sunflower, it sees. And like at this point, that is the game. You need to see how the other team is playing to just diff them. Because like we're at game. But Pat, we've seen this before. That's all I'm saying is we've seen this before. That's all I'm gonna say. We've seen this before.
We've been here. But remember, these two teams, this is their third set. And WoW has gotten one, Sunflower has gotten one, and right now WoW are still in the lead, are still up 2-0, and once again Sunflower is forced to play catch up. But going into a Clan Blitz, we know the catch up is very much possible on Clan Blitz, as Sunflower has shown us. And the big question is, can they do it again? Can they do now that WoW has switched up the weapon, now that WoW knows what to expect, knows the tricks that Sunflower is able to pull? Sunflower, I feel like WoW just did a micro change by switching from the 96 to the mini. Sunflower needs to do something like that, not necessarily changing the weapons, but changing something in their base, changing something in their positions. At this level of play, it's very, very small things that decides the game. And right now, Sunflower needs an extra small thing to put WoW off balance.
Which might be hard, because if you remember from our earlier sets, this is WoW's home turf. If I could give any map mode to them, they've absolutely dominated on Museum Clams. So Sunflower has to put in the extra work here, Pat. And I kind of want to see the comeback, but also WoW's going crazy, and let's see what we got. No switch on the side, on either side. This is the weapons we're running. Welcome to our game 3. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, remember, this is game 3 of our bracket reset. WoW is on tournament point, and Sunflower needs more miracles in order to move forward, in order to keep it going right now on Clan Blitz.
Absolutely. We see the hammer immediately ready, and I wanted to point out, I've noticed hammer being very useful at this level of play. I'm seeing hammer used a lot more and more. So the switch, that again feels like another good switch, especially with that burst bomb. You got love having a burst bomb, and Bocce is showing that they can do it.
Yeah, right there, Bocce just dancing around with that hammer and not letting Sunflower be at ease. They're forced to jump back there, and all of Sunflower are on that platform playing defense despite having the super clam. It's really well that's in control of the base, that's in control of the space as well, but the bubbler is not protecting enough. And it looks like Sunflower still has a few answers to what WoW is bringing.
Absolutely, and we've seen this before, the little stalemate at the beginning. Both teams have either a clam or close to one. And right now it's just a matter of who can pick who and get the points that they need. We see it, someone go down on the side of Sunflower as Rusty counters with the back. We see the blaster pushed into a corner. We see Bocce with the hammer coming in. It got home, we get a snipe on Bonk with it!
Beautiful play right there. WoW is going to open the score, and they have a bubbler in the exact right spot. That's going to force the strikes out of Sunflower. The Sunflower are going to retake control of their platform, but now they need to mount a push. They need to prepare things. They're able to find Dylan already, but Dylan is still going to get a trade before going down. Sunflower right now needs momentum.
Absolutely, and they still have 3 minutes, and that push wasn't that big. Sunflower has not one, not two. Well, we count the pity here. They have two clams and power clams and a pity. This is the push they need. They see, be careful. We see Bocce's hammer punished. We see the sniper rider on the mid getting pushed back because of the back. This is what you said, momentum. This is what we need to see. Yeah, there we go. There's the strikes. We see Rusty coming in with the sprinkler, trying to get just a little bit more paint. Enamel and Rusty with power clams pushing towards the plat here, Pat.
They have the clams. They have a foothold on the opponent's platform, but the bubbler to answer from Rao is going to force everybody from Sunflower to wait for a better moment to go in. As right there, the moment has come. The moment the bubbler is there, Sunflower is getting the splats, and they still have so many clams in their hand, and the special to help as well. That's going to be a huge lead for Sunflower, who are able to put 4 super clams in.
Are you serious?
4 super clams, and they still have Rusty hiding on the platform, getting an extra splat before going away.
Yeah, get out of there, dude. Yeah, get out of there. Holy mackerel, Pat. This is what it's all for. It never stops.
Yeah. And yeah, that's going to be Sunflower still fighting.
I'm not gonna lie to you. You started breaking up there for a sec. What were you saying?
I mean, what you're seeing right now.
All right. Well, we've got Bonk dropping down. We've got Dylan holding on to this bubble here, holding this space. They've got a lot. So WoW has a lot of space to take, but like as we see here, they get a ball in, and now's their time to start scoring. They have clams, but will it be enough here, Pat? We see Bocce jump back out just to be safe, and hey, a push is a push, but there is only 30 seconds left, and they got to get in now.
Ooh. Well, they just got 3 splats, and they got a wipeout. They still have control over the basket area. They have clams. All they need is to wait for the basket to go down so they can reopen it. Sunflower using the strike. Sunflower wants WoW out of here, but WoW is not done. WoW is still around. All they need is 1 push, and they're right there under the basket. Can WoW seal the deal? Sunflower trying to stop that. The basket is open, no penalty, but it's free down. The pencil is way too far away. Overtime is going to end. Sunflower still alive, as we'd expect them to be. That's what they like to do.
What is happening? Like, deja vu. But if I may say, congratulations to Sunflower at beating WoW on Museum Clams. Even if this is where the run ends, that's what it was all for. Sunflower has shown that even if they don't take this win, that they are a strong team that everyone needs to look out for.
Now, we're going to Humpback. And these two teams played Humpback Rainmaker in winners finals, and WoW just absolutely destroyed it. Like they just grabbed the Rainmaker and KO'd with it. Sunflower knows what to expect, and remember, this is still a very, very good roller map. So Sunflower, if they don't let the mistake happen, if they're able to just deny that one quick KO from WoW, that WoW likes to get, Sunflower very much has the opportunity to win this one. This is the best map mode for Sunflower right now.
Absolutely, and it does feel like that they've started adapting to the new Switch with that mini, because like, as you saw, can we just take a moment and appreciate 4 power clams in like the span of 10 seconds? We went from 100 to 20 in 5 seconds, Pat. That is insane.
Hey, sometimes if your team is well coordinated, you have the clams, you have the opportunity, you can get that. You don't get that every day, especially not in grand finals of Paddling Pool, but we got to witness it and we can be pretty happy we did. But yeah, for sure, Sunflower got the monster push, got the miracle, are still in this. But they're still fighting the monster. They are on the final phase of the boss of this Paddling Pool, and they've got more work to do.
They're putting in the effort, though. Absolutely, they do not want to be knocked out yet. I mean, not only did they earn the bracket reset, but they took a game off of WoW, and I'm just whatever happens next, I know it's going to be legendary, no matter what happens.
And one big question on the side of WoW. Does WoW get back to 96 so they can have a vacuum? Or do they stick to the mini? Because vacuum is so good on here.
But Hammer can also be good. But Hammer can also be good for going forward.
It doesn't make your Rainmaker completely invincible for seconds.
That is true. That is true. Whereas, like you said, the Vac does make it invincible. If you have no one behind your... If you've got the Hammer in front of the Rainmaker, and there's no enemies in between, and that Hammer knows what it's doing, doesn't matter if your Rainmaker's invincible.
We got news. We got important news, lad.
What's happening?
Bonk has to go. And
Bonk has to go?
Bonk has to go, and Sunflower will have to sub out Bonk right in the middle of this bracket reset.
What? What?
I mean, they'll be subbing. Bonk will be playing this game, but will be subbed out for game number 5. Bonk plays this game, but for game number 5, Bonk, if there is a game number 5, Bonk will not be here. So yeah, my gosh, Sunflower right now, this is Bonk's last game, whatever happens. This could be Sunflower's last game if WoW is able to repeat what they did in upper bracket finals.
Well, Bonk knows what they have to do. Bonk's got to lock in. We immediately see a pop on the side of WoW. We have Dylan trying the best to cover paint and just stop any pushes from happening. Like you said, WoW might be going for that push here. And like you said, hey, if you look, that mini's gone and it was replaced with the Gal. Once again, Sunflower goes down by 2 here, Pat.
Yeah, but of course they have the Luna that will give them the hammers. That hammer that can do so well. And it looks like WoW, without wasting an instant, are going to go for that early checkpoint. But they just lost the 96. They won't be able to get more than the checkpoint. They're forced to move away. CJ saving themselves right there, saving their special points is going to go a long way as Sunflower gets control over mid.
Absolutely, and now it's Sunflower's time to shine. Like you said, if this is Bonk's last game, it is time to go. It is time to push. And I don't know who's going to sub in for Bonk, but if Bonk brings in there, you know what has to happen. They got to carry it all the way. We see the back come out, which is going to give them an opportunity to place the Rainmaker. And now all we have to do, all Sunflower has to do is just push a little bit, and then they're in the lead for a little bit. And as we see, they pick it up and they start going. Let's see what happens, Pat.
Yeah.
Ooh!
The run through that streets that usually decide the game. 36 is a score. It is certainly not safe. We know that only a KO is safe on a Rainmaker humpback, as well is already pushing forward with the hammer to open up the way. They have everything going their way right now. It was the 96 holding the Rainmaker, so no vacuum to protect it. But the Rainmaker, like, they're almost tied, 37 to 36. Both of these teams are so evenly matched.
The Snipe Raider got it 1 point away, which was an amazing last second save. But WoW once again has the Rainmaker, and they're not out yet. There's still 3 minutes. But Sunflower said, nuh-uh, and immediately, once again, punished the Rainmaker here. We got Bocce trying to back up, trying to play it a little safe. We don't want to play a little too crazy. We do have a vac ready, so we want to be careful. We want to wait for our team here.
And right now, Sunflower are able to secure their surroundings, secure their tiny lead. But, oh, is that a hammer behind them? Oh, yeah, the hammer is in front right now. Savage going in with the Slosher. That Slosher can deal so much damage.
Oh my
here.
goodness!
Look at that! And that's Sunflower who are going to push forward right now. Can they extend their lead? The Luna is on them, but they don't seem to mind. They're still running around. The vacuum will end the Rainmaker's run. And WoW can breathe a little bit, but Sunflower got a pretty good push. If they could have gotten an extra splat. And wait! Savage! Savage is extending the lead to 25, just going in, diving forward.
We've been talking about Bonk a lot, but have we been giving... sorry, the Slosher name, I was just there, but it slipped away. Have we been giving yes. Have we been giving them enough attention? They've been going insane on this bucket the entire tournament.
Yeah, they're the kind of players that stay discreet, but you can't count them out. And for sure right now, once again, all the pressure on these two teams. Sunflower still has the lead, and WoW needs to push forward. Right now they're waiting less than a minute and a half in the game. The clock is ticking, and right now it's ticking in favor of Sunflower.
Absolutely, and I love how safe Sunflower is playing. They don't want to be too risky now. They don't want this game to end just yet. And as we can see, there's a minute left on the board here, Pat. All WoW has to do is just swim far enough and get the picks they need. They have a vac ready, but Bonk also has a bubble and a vac ready as well, so they could counter really easily. I'm just really excited to see what happens next here. And the Rainmaker goes down!
The Rainmaker, I think the Rainmaker was almost done with their clock, so they decided to run at their opponent just to die before they would explode, which is usually the good move. Right now, Sunflower are going to re-grab the Rainmaker, and they're very happy to. Right now, it's 3 down. Only the Luna left to defend. Can but Luna hold by themselves? They're trying to, but they get punished. Sunflower has the way forward, and they don't even need to go forward. I mean, they can simply hold. The Rainmaker is flooded in an awkward spot. That seems to be rough for WoW to grab the Rainmaker here. I mean, they only have a few more seconds just to get an overtime. They have the Luna in position, but Luna is going to have to grab the Rainmaker. Can they do it? Right now, 3 down. Wait, they're in there. All they need to do is push. They're so close to it. They have the vacuum to protect. WoW takes the lead, and WoW is your padding pool champions.
Amazing job from WoW. Just at the last second, like, hey, I forgot about, remember how I immediately said there was only one humpback?
Yeah, that's 2.
Apparently they didn't. There's 2, and it feels like it was forgotten. Sometimes you just got to take a bracket reset and a game off the goats before they win. Sometimes you just got to do that.
Yep. Incredible grand finals that we just had right here. Beautifully played. Sunflower kept it alive for as long as they could, but at the end, WoW got their victory. GG's 3-2-1, and that is Dapple 382 in favor of WoW.
I'm trying so hard not to just say WoW right now. I'm trying to think of other adjectives I can. Well, adjectives. Gosh, I'm so smart, chat. I'm thinking of other words to use to describe. Because like we need to take a moment and just Sunflower. We need to give them their flowers because not only did they bracket reset, but they took the one game they took off was one of WoW's
Yeah.
strongest map modes, and like.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to win to feel like you did good in a tournament. I bet you, Sunflower, I bet you they're feeling a little crushed. But also, I bet you they're still feeling really good about themselves.
Hey, that's why we play tournaments, because we want to hope. Sometimes we're disappointed, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, but there's always something interesting. And tonight we really had crazy games to watch, but it's time for us to say goodbye. Before we go, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our wonderful observer, Jorian and Slatica.
Big
Do
shouts.
you have something to plug?
Just my name on all platforms. If you want to find me, you can. That's all. What about you, Pat?
Pretty much the same. You can find me at Padgeotom on Blue Sky. It's written on your screen. It's Padgeotom all together. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Dapple Productions will be back, of course, on Friday with more Triton Cup. And we'll see you. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.